way right now.
Why
Angus,
are you yelling?
Hello, everyone.
Angus.
God damn it, Raul. And we're live. Greetings and salutations.
You didn't answer my question. Why are you yelling?
Because reasons.
Okay.
Yeah,
tracks.
yelling isn't very vibe chill of you.
It's our own version of vibing.
I mean,
Are we supposed to be vibe chill? Cause damn, I missed that message. Shit, I gotta leave the campaign, y'all.
Well, that's how nature
Shit.
likes to advertise himself, but it's always incorrect.
Well, okay. The two additional tags I've added to the stream games. I add both vibe and blurst.
That's very good. That's very good.
Indeed.
Blurst is not a proper tag. You have been suspended for
I
7
get
days
it.
for violating the tag rules.
Shut.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Kev.
Evan!
How's it going, everyone?
It's going. How are you?
Why do I always have to
buddy?
update Twitch?
Oh, nature.
Hmm.
Slight retcon because I thought of something.
Oh boy.
Possible. I want to ask B if it's possible for me to meditate with the orb tonight as I dream.
Oh god. This is how we die.
That's quite fascinating.
This is the way the world ends.
It
Speaking
was the
of
ultimate showdown.
speaking of consequences, dice.
Yay!
And this is why I will not be staying near the party tonight.
I told you I wanted to do this, Nox.
I know.
B.
I'm saying, like, this is how we die.
You know what? Because Dasher may or may not be trying to pull something weird. Pick a color.
Green.
Nice. Green it is.
I am not really trying to pull anything weird. All I
Are
really
you?
want is something that you know what I want.
What you really, really want?
What I really, really want.
Really, really, really want to zig a zig, huh?
If
Okay,
you
does
really
Do
this
you not
want
want to have sex with
something.
the fucking god?
watch still work?
Is that? You know, I never put that together.
Did you not realize that?
I never really thought about it. I was like, I really, really, really want to zig a zig. Aw.
If you want to be my lover.
You gotta get with my friends.
Well, because
Oh.
well, for me, when I think lover, that's like, oh, someone you love, like someone you're in a relationship with.
Oh, it is about someone trying to get in bed with this woman, and he has to hang out with her friends in order to do so.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, that makes more sense than what came into my head.
What the
You were
fuck did
thinking
you think
he's
it
gotta sleep
was?
with their friends, right?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew that's what you were thinking.
I mean, I can
was
also
like,
see.
that-
I can also
why
see
would
it being
you do-
interpreted
what?
that way.
No. I've already lost my tape. What the hell?
Anyways,
I need-
who hasn't picked
Oh
in a
god.
while?
I need to get the battery on this watch replaced.
I don't think B's picked in a while. B, pick a color.
I picked last week.
Oh,
I
you picked. Oh, you did pick.
Sugar
Oh, right. Yeah,
Dice.
you did pick last week. Kevin.
Yes.
Color.
Give me orange today.
Ooh, I do not have orange. Would you rather prefer yellow, red, or the coffee dice, which are brown?
Give me coffee.
Ooh,
Give me
coffee dice it
or give
is.
me yes.
Give me
Damn,
coffee.
I didn't know my dice privileges were still revoked.
For now, yes. Ooh, also, I just got a new batch of coffee in recently. From well, because my parents and I often frequent a little place called Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, it turns out it's because it's an intercrossing.
Sure, yeah. That's gotta be it.
That's originally what it was, but then of course the name has different connotations now.
Of course.
I want to go to fucking Australia.
Same reason why Blue Ball was originally referring to the Blue Ball Hotel. Like I'm not making this shit. I wish I
Yeah,
was making
sure,
this shit
Nathan,
up.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I will. So back to intercourse. Okay.
Yep. Knew that was coming.
I'm a child. But no, yeah,
Welcome.
there is.
Y'all are.
It's actually a very quaint little like small farm town. It's got like a little farmer's market and everything. And one of the places, the little farmer's market is called Kitchen Kettle Village. And one of the places, one of the things there you can get. There's a place that we actually get a bunch of stuff like jams, jellies, pickles, like a lot of preserved like stuff in jars, or various food items and preserves and things like that. And also one of the big things that they have over there as well is tea and coffee. And I had gotten for myself a English breakfast. And also, what was it? It was almond sticky bun.
Interesting.
Which both of those so far really enjoy. And I also got some. We also got some loose leaf tea. Actually got some lavender lemon tea. So
Lovely.
Oh god, a fucking local coffee shop near me sells that shit. It's so good.
oh yeah, it is very good. I just had a cup not too long ago, and it was ooh.
I found one of my throwing knives today.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I'm telling you, Nature, this is how we all die. This is the episode where all of us perish.
Dasher's pondering the orb. Gal has too many
Dasher's pondering the orb.
knives.
Mono has too many knives. It's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah, that's fair. Gal also has too many knives.
No, my family has done. People that aren't me have done more damage to me with weaponry than I've done to myself.
That's not saying much.
I would not be surprised.
That's not, you say that as it. That's not a good thing.
With the amount of knives you own, I would not be surprised if your sister is currently plotting your demise and making it look like an accident.
No, all the weapons I own are the deterrent.
Ooh,
You feel to see my point, I see.
he does.
Also, I don't think my sister would be able to get away with it.
Intelligence level not high enough.
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't mean she would try. No, she wouldn't try.
Idiots with weapons are more dangerous than martial
Same
arts
people with
masters.
them?
That is correct.
That is very true. That is incredibly true.
Trust me, I've been on the receiving end of many people with weapons.
What,
And
Kevin? Why are you going out throwing hands again?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this throwing knife in that drawer over there.
Because when you're dealing with someone who isn't trained and skilled in the weapon, they're more likely to be sloppy and reckless.
Oh my
sloppy,
god.
reckless,
You know
they'll
what?
hurt
Because-
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mono's hole is basically the not safe for work meme zone.
Oh god.
Oh, Mono's gremlin hole.
Yeah.
God, no. What is it? I'm afraid.
I don't know what that is, and I'm not gonna
Cyberpunk.
ask. Right,
Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk
Edge
Edge Runners. Right.
David is the main character. The Sandverson is a device that gives him super speed.
Possibly. I can neither confirm nor deny. But yes. Alright, just making sure that everything is working as it should be. I do not know what this
Want to
accent
do the
is.
recap while we wait?
Oh yeah. We can hang on. Let me change it. We can change over the ambiance and start moving into things as we wait for folks to file in.
I'm not apologizing.
I will not apologize for art.
Bruh.
Yeah. You heard.
So, could one of the party members please tell me what happened last time we left our heroes?
Last time, Lavender and the Archdruid went on ahead and had a little bit of a walk. They discussed some things that may or may not be inferring that the Archdruid knows about Dryads. Also, apparently our party has now just been given information through Lavender, however, she has not revealed it yet, that the Wild Hunt is a thing.
Whatever the fuck that is.
No, certainly
Now,
don't.
if any white-haired women show up, we must be very concerned.
If anyone trying to gain riches
Nox has
from
white
being
hair.
hunted
Oh,
by
no.
the Fae, we must be wary, of course. But we don't know that. We don't even know if that's the same thing here.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
yeah.
She's got white hair and she's an elf. We're fucked, guys.
Nox.
Sorry.
I've seen enough Witcher to know where this is going.
Right.
Now all we need is a fucking blood hunter.
After Lavender and the Archdruid reunited with the party separated from the Archdruid as the Archdruid was being worshipped like he was a certain biblical figure.
No, it was more like a celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, little column A,
Patting
little
him
column
on the
B.
back as he went, trying to reach for him. That's more than just a celebrity.
You can interpret
Nah.
it as you wish.
What about that?
Anyways.
Is that a fact?
Dasher decided to do a few laps around the Druid and the Enclave, and eventually found a recreational drug dealer who was
But some of those drugs
selling
not being so
black
recreational.
silver,
Mm-hmm.
and Dasher was trying to get enough stuff, some stuff so that he could go on so that he could prepare for a spirit quest. Unfortunately, this drug dealer does not have anything of that sort. His drugs are purely recreational. Looks at black silver, which may or may not be actual meth in this world.
I don't think it's meth.
No, it's worse than meth. As someone who takes meth on a daily basis because
Me
they
too.
I need to get back.
because
on
they
that.
take Dexedrine, it's worse than meth.
I feel like we should clarify pharmaceutical. Like,
Yes. I take Dexedrine. I think B, you take Adderall, right? Okay, so yeah, we take 2 separate levels of meth.
I always forget that
Pharmaceutical.
methamphetamines are regularly
Technically,
used.
they're amphetamines. Yeah.
Yeah, well, amphetamines, yeah.
Yeah. Specifically, I take Dexedrine Span.
Not
Anyways,
sponsored.
why would it be? It's a controlled substance.
We live in America.
We live in America.
Actually, that's a fair point.
That's the entire reason we live in a fucking America.
This is America. Alright.
I'll
Anyways.
say-
Anyways, after he returned to the party, Nox separated from the party to meditate, on things and what they mean. What does it all mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
mean?
What does it mean?
Ah,
Farron, what does it mean?
No. Hold on. We have to stop the stream. We have to stop the stream. Mono brought up a very specific person that is not allowed here.
Eh?
I didn't hear any. I didn't hear him
You
mention
said the D word.
Huh?
You
What?
said the D name.
that.
What? What name? What?
You
I
said
did-
the name Debbie.
Oh, Debbie.
Yeah, bruh.
She is not allowed here.
Why not?
There's a lot everywhere.
I'm confused.
She is not allowed in this sacred place.
Nah,
She
she's
can
a
go wherever she
lot. She can go wherever she wants.
I have
No.
no idea what the hell you guys are
Okay.
talking about.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
This is an inside joke amongst the
Okay.
players.
I'll take your word
Um,
on it.
Don't worry about it, Nature. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry
You've
about
Yeah.
also been explained this before. I'm pretty
I-
sure.
No, we
no, I have
haven't.
not.
No, I have. I'm pretty sure I explained it to you.
If
Aw,
you did,
dude.
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, back to the recap.
Yes.
Anyways, while that was going on, the rest of the party went to have dinner, and Mono was just minding his own business.
I was.
No, you actually were. And then he was approached by
Another
one of the leaders of the
schmuck in my
conclave.
door.
One of
And
my least favorite people,
she started making problems.
Mm-hmm.
as she does.
Things did not go
And-
as planned.
Gal offered to just have a bare-fisted brawl. It was agreed upon. While this was happening, Kumal was being a little
Shenanigans
shit
Is doing the shenanigans.
and
chaos.
teleporting people
Pure
around all over the
chaos.
place.
That was
This
pretty
chaos must reign,
funny.
apparently. After the second teleportation, Dasher dragged Kumal away so that there could be a fair fight and Gal could kick her ass proper on a fair level,
Alicia Cano, whoop my ass.
which he did. He unleashed a can of whoop ass.
I don't think she got a single hit in.
No, she did not. His
She
AC
got
was too high, and I'm
absolutely
pretty sure-
garbage.
I'm
obliterated.
almost 100% positive that I'm almost 100% positive that Gal's AC was too high for her to hit.
Well, it wasn't an AC thing. It's competing strength versus dex.
No, I was referring to when she outright attacked him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she didn't even hit me that time either.
Yeah, like, to be fair, she did take quite a pounding. Like she did take quite a few hits.
I like to think that because of him headbutting her hand, he has like a little mark on his face.
Probably.
Also, because of all this hiking, because of because of Gal winning this bout, he suddenly was started to be worshipped a little bit.
Now he's a celebrity.
A celebrity.
And the gnome that we met, we rescued earlier,
Land Fitz.
showed up.
Land Fitz. Land Fitz.
Landfitz showed up.
What was it? Landfitz?
Land Fitz
Tupple?
Tupper Tots.
Oh yeah, Tupper.
That's who it is, yeah.
Couple putts.
Tupper
No,
Tots.
Tupper Tots.
Tupper tots.
I love gnome names.
I don't remember if a conversation was had. That was a tiny bit of a blur.
That's fair.
But after which, most of the group regrouped with Nox, and questions were had about the tree.
What is it?
Realizations were made
Mm-hmm.
that the tree is actually, in fact, a person by the name of Vengeance.
Ah.
Can neither confirm nor
Um,
deny. I still don't know how to feel about
Allegedly.
this.
Well, it is the Sylvan word for vengeance.
Connections were made that
Which let me see if I can grab that again.
the mother's drum may be infecting, may or may not be infecting the tree via the roots. Who knows? That was something that was
Hypothesized.
hypothesized, theorized, inferred. And after all of that, we then met back up with Gal.
No.
Asher, using Crystalline Awakening, told Gal that there was a drug den in town.
Oh, that was before the dinner.
Oh no, that was before the dinner. I'm sorry. Before the dinner, Dasher told Gal that there was a drug den in town, and Gal just gave him a very worrying glare.
No, it was anger.
Worrying for Dasher because he was going to get his lights punched out if he continued any further.
Accurate.
After all of this, we regrouped back at the tent and went to bed. Or started to go to bed.
I also found the name again. For the individual Diagaltus. I was trying to find that. I know it's Vengeance in Sylvan, but I can't remember what it was offhand. There it is.
And
Would you just call me nature?
Was it you? Continue.
I believe that's all that happened. However, there needs to be a slight retcon made as Dasher is going to approach Nox before we go to bed.
Mm-hmm. We'll cover that once we.
I don't think we've actually gone to bed yet.
Yeah, the party is soon to be going to bed.
Ah, okay, then no retcon necessary then.
Is there anything else the party recalls they feel is important to note? Also, hiking.
No.
Kubal's reading the scroll.
Yes. I believe the scroll has been read.
Yeah.
The typhoon helped.
Yes, Typhoon did need help, and you guys learned a new thing.
Oh yes, we learned a reverse of the incantation.
It was a rite.
Ah,
R-I-T-E, rite. The rite of nature's communion. Seemingly almost a reverse engineering of whatever modified or twisted version of the rite is described in the text. Beating to mother's drum. Yeah. As for what you can do with it,
Good question,
You
Mega
know.
Man.
whatever it is, it seems to be something magical and presumably powerful in some way.
Ooh.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of at the current moment.
Alrighty, so we're still waiting on planes by the looks
He
of it.
did start without him.
Ah, right, yes. Okay.
there is one last thing.
Oh.
1 month until Bayonetta releases.
In game, no, but
Bayonetta's in game? Shit.
no.
Oh
No,
shit!
No, because you're bringing that thing up. You're bringing that during recap stuff, and I'm like, that's not.
Okay.
Hmm.
Between
That's not-
sessions, between sessions, a new NPC may or may not have been developed that may or may not be a backup character.
I mean, that's nothing's confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Eh.
So,
You'll find out soon enough.
in that case, I suppose actually I have one final bonus question to ask before we dive any further.
28th.
I didn't ask the question.
Fuck you, it's the 28th.
Was that the question I was going to ask?
Well, if
Yes,
it was,
I'm ready
it's
to play
28th.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that wasn't.
Houses and himbos.
How's the
I was gonna ask how everyone was doing, but all right, fucking everyone is.
I'm doing the 28th. Holy fuck, it's also the 28th.
Oh fuck!
Yes. Yes.
Inception.
I mean, well, I mean, in this case, it's a month earlier, but
Also, so by the time we get back, it will be Nox's and Dasher's birthday, most likely.
No, we're on the last day of Portum.
Ah, then it will be the day before.
Portum has 31 days, does it not?
yes.
Yeah, so we've got several days
It will
left.
be the day before because it took us like 2 days to get here.
No.
No, it took us like a day.
No, I thought it took us 2 days. Okay,
If it
honestly
took us
thought-
2 days, then it would have been the 30th.
Okay, I thought that the trip took 2 days. I am sorry.
No. Alright, so.
Because I thought we had a long rest, and then this is a second. Today would be the second long rest.
Nope.
And I suppose before we dive into the game proper, because y'all motherfuckers ruined my intro.
Sorry.
As we do.
Once again, I will not apologize for art.
I
shall-
I was being led into it. All blame falls on Mana.
We shall roll to see whom the gods smile kindly upon this day, or whom the fates smile kindly upon this day.
Not it.
First is a numero uno, so Farron gets a point of inspiration.
Oh.
And secondly is a 4, so Nox gets a point of inspiration. Every time you
learned
call
that-
not it,
Yep. That's
Like-
the only time I get inspiration is if I call not it.
you try to call
I think
dibs
I
on the
also
other
get
end, but
associated
every
with it as
time.
well.
Mm-hmm. And so, we return to the party after a interesting evening of feasting and raucous revelry for some. And for others, a moment of contemplation and research and discovery.
Existential crises.
That does well. Nonetheless, these continue. Or nonetheless, these...
Oh, also,
Begin
nature.
to-
I
yes?
mentioned that before we went to bed that Nox had worked on the amulet for a couple more hours.
Mm-hmm.
About how many more hours do you think it would have added to the total?
Probably not many.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm just doing it a little by little.
Yeah, probably at most like 2 hours.
Okay, dope. Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. How many do you have at this point now?
10.
Oh, actually, not doing too bad. Alright. So then... As the party begins to unwind and settle down for the night, research having been done, and the various small lights dotted about the commune here slowly begin to fade and dim. The fires, the central fires beginning to quench, save for those near the watchtowers at the edge of the forest. Or the edge of the compound, I should say. It's hard to see where the flora ends and the walls begin in certain angles. And the party is left to their own devices.
Dasher will approach Nox.
Hello?
Do you have the orb on you?
Always. Why?
I want to talk to it. I want to talk to him.
Tasha. Last time that did not go too well for either you or Kumul.
I know. However, I'm hoping at this point I'm hoping they can at least get some we can at least get some guidance from them as to where we should go next.
I'm afraid I can't offer you much protection this time.
Fine.
No, it's not fine. Is it possible we can at least do this once we're back home? I don't want to do it here. I don't feel like within this compound is the best option at the moment.
The reason why I asked was because there's a shard. I know this.
A shot here?
Reborn, the
Yes, I know
The
what Safena
construct.
said.
said that there was someone who shoved what appeared to be a translucent orange shard in themselves.
True. Which reminds me, we need to find it.
I was hoping that we could talk to him, then we might be able to get some sort of semblance.
Understandable. Don't think it's the wisest idea, but I can't stop you.
Dasher will hold out his hand for the orb.
I'll take the box out of the backpack and hand him the box. I don't touch the orb.
Dasher will take the orb out of the box.
It is as you left it.
He will sit next to the fire pit.
Mhm.
And he will breathe deeply and meditate tonight as he is going to cast Dream.
Okay. Is there anything else the rest of the party is doing as they head to their various sleeping spots in the tent?
I'm not staying in the tent. I'm gonna
Or in the
keep
hut, I
watch.
should say. Okay.
Nox is gonna take a first watch.
Okay.
I'd probably be like, you know what? I don't feel like heading back to the tent. I'm just gonna sucker one of the groupies into letting me stay the night.
I just see the gnome just run over there and just be like, "You want to sleep with me?"
Roll a persuasion check, gal.
If it's a 1, please let it be the gnome.
Fuck.
Hmm.
Is it with advantage because I'm cool now?
No. So, as you...
And I'm not gonna be like overt about it. It'd be like,
Yeah, you do note that as the fires begin to be quenched and the various members of the community continue, head off in their various separate ways, you notice the number of people that kind of stick around kind of nearby you, but also kind of half like talking to themselves, slowly begins to dwindle as time continues on. Until the only one left at the end of the night, standing about maybe 2.5 feet tall, is indeed the gnome.
sure, let's hang out with the gnome tonight.
As he just seems to be just standing there staring up at you. He's still shirtless, by the way.
Fist bump.
Yeah! He quickly holds up a fist to fist bump as well.
You go next door spot to sleep tonight.
Yeah. Ooh, I have this great spot I've been stashing out for the night. If you want to come follow me.
Sure, why not?
Here, great! He just sprints off in a direction.
Oh, casually follow.
Okay. As you follow him in the direction of, actually towards one of the, sort of agricultural grottos, towards the edge of the camp, seeing the various, berry bushes and, you know, a few of the animals, and a few of the goats and other farm animals seemingly, kind of nuzzling down or nesting down for the night as well. And eventually you find Tupper Tots right in front of like an old gnarled like a moss covered log. He's just like, "What do you think?" as he just kind of gestures over it with both arms wide, like "Ta-da!"
Like, so it's like so it's carved out.
Yes. It is a carved out shelter, if you could call it that, from it looks like one of the logs that they originally used for like mushroom farming.
Would I be able to fit in there?
Maybe. Be a bit of
Okay.
a squeeze.
I don't know if I'd be able to sleep in there comfortably.
Nah, don't worry. There's been plenty of larger creatures that fit in here. Don't worry about it. As you just kind of got like you gotta turn your leg like this as you go in, and then as you do that, you kind of spin around like as he's like meandering and like corkscrewing his way into the log. And after the body eventually disappears, like, see, there's plenty of room in here.
He's just gonna like sit against the log.
Okay.
He's like, I think that this will be fine for me.
All right, suit yourself. Just let you know, mind the badger though.
There's a badger.
Yeah, sometimes he comes around. He's pretty chill. Just don't ask him for anything.
All right. I was gonna like take off his equipment, set it down, use half it as like a pillow.
Okay.
He just sits up there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You just set your backpack down as a makeshift pillow, and your sleep is not the most comfortable, but also nothing you aren't accustomed to at this point.
I've had worse.
Is there anything else the party wishes to do before night finally falls?
Not this time.
Okay.
To clarify for the for the audio only listeners, Dasher is choosing himself to be a messenger, and the target is the orb. Specifically.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
I want to communion with my god.
So, Dasher, as you tap into the orb, or you connect your consciousness with the orb, as you begin the processes of casting the spell, excuse me, the moment that tether, that connection forms, I would like for you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Is this to resist returning to the carnival?
I will say you do not get advantage on this roll now.
Thank you.
4.
4 or 4.
I'll take the 4. Unless you wish to use a point of inspiration or anyone else.
I do not have any inspiration.
Okay. So, in that case, as you try to make this connection with the orb, and as you cast the spell alongside it, let me check something real quick.
I take 86 psychic damage and die instantly.
Tempting. However, that is not what happens. However, you do end up... Alright. So here's how things go. As you in the last waking moments, make this connection between yourself and the shattered eye of Drillsick. You try to establish a greater control of the dream between you two.
What I am basically attempting is just a communion,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, through the dream.
And as this occurs, you suddenly feel this sharp pain, almost like at the base of your collarbone. Almost as if the maw of some beast has sunk its teeth down into
Does it feel
beneath the skin.
familiar?
What was that?
Does it feel familiar?
To you personally, no.
Yes. So this does not feel like when I was dragged back to the carnival.
No.
Cool.
You feel the jaws clamp down onto your collarbone. And from where blood would spill, or where these fangs dig into your flesh, the veins surrounding it begin to boil. And that burning sensation begins to creep up your arms, down your chest, up to your skull and into your mind. And this sheer, complete burning sensation as once again you hear the cacophonous, almost resounding, echoing screams of Drillsick once again. You take 7 points of psychic damage,
Okay.
and you do not get the effects of a long rest.
Cool.
As just as quickly as that burning sensation and the screaming begins, you have enough will and know-how to quickly sever the connection before it gets any worse. And you are left there aching and sore. Almost, that sort of like tingling sensation after you just gotten a blister, except there is that tingling, burning sensation all throughout your body.
Dasher is going to quickly reach back to where he felt the bite.
You reach at your collarbone where the jaws, you feel the jaws clamp down. There is no mark and there is no wound.
Dasher will have I don't have anything like a mirror.
Nothing. There are no mirrors in the tent.
Am
no.
I able to see where the bite was?
You kind of have to tilt your head in order to look at it, but yeah, it is like basically right at the base of the neck where the neck meets the collarbone. That's where
Okay.
that's where where you felt that initial bite. Almost like fangs or something, digging into the flesh. Though, once again, looking down, no mark, no wound, no imperfection to the scales.
Is everyone else asleep?
Currently, yes. Well, except for
Nox
Nox,
is
who is still
taking
watching.
watch.
Yes.
That was not fun.
Were you
Dasher will
speaking to
put
me?
sorry, what was that?
Were you speaking to me?
You're the only one up. Dasher will
True.
put the orb back in the box.
And Nox will put it back in her pack.
Let something bite me.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I felt something bite me.
Interesting. And I don't see anything on him, right, Nature?
No mark, no
Okay.
wounds,
Make
nothing
sure.
extra than compared to what you're used to seeing.
Felt like my blood was boiling.
Sounds rough.
Just to be perfectly clear, I did not see anything, did I?
Nope.
Okay. When it comes to the bite, did I feel shape at all?
Um,
Like, did it feel like a leech? Did it feel like an actual
investigation check,
canine-like bite?
I'll say. Almost for like a, I guess it was just straight intelligence. Straight intelligence.
intelligence?
This would be. Almost like memory and trying to, like, kind of,
18.
establishing. 18. It did feel like a row, like, row of teeth, similar to any sort of, fanged animal, or any fanged predator. However, you did also feel two prominent upper fangs on the upper jaw that, like, buried themselves deep in, and that's where the burning sensation began.
Nature, I swear to God, if Dasher has vampirism now.
It felt
Some
more
sort of-
like an animalistic, like an animal
Right.
bite rather than a person.
Right. So canine in nature?
More like long, thin fangs that pierce into the skin.
Yeah, no.
Nick.
Dasher will describe everything that he felt.
So more like a
That's r-
snake.
Or a coatl.
Either or. You should try and rest.
Yeah. Dasher will go back to laying down and he will try to rest.
Okay. The pain doesn't fully go away throughout the night. However, you try to at least get some modicum of rest during it. You were still able to take a short rest, but unfortunately, you
Cool.
did not get the effects of a full one.
I would like to, using that short rest, get the effects of meditation.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Nox is going to stay up the entire night and voluntarily take a point of exhaustion.
This is the first night that you've basically stayed up for all of it, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. I will say you don't take a point of exhaustion yet, though if you continue this trend, well, we shall have to see.
Yep.
However, in that
She's
case,
just
I
gonna
would like for
watch
you
the
to
rest of
make
the night.
in that case I would like you to make 3 perception checks.
May I use guidance?
Sure.
That one.
So first one's
Or
a
sorry,
10.
only one.
Yeah,
I
first
got
one's a
the
10.
guidance messed up.
Next
Next
one
one's
is
a dirty 20.
Nice.
And
And 24. Not bad. The first third of the night, as dusk falls and twilight encroaches upon the forest here, your eyes are Actually, you feel like it's almost as even easier to see at night, with the various soft motes of bioluminescence or whatever orbs of light or energy that dot throughout the place to make things slightly brighter compared to what you're used to, even under the moonlight. However, even so, the amount of vegetation and trying to observe anything past the walls, let alone even within, with how easily in certain spots the foliage stops and the quote architecture begins. You don't see any signs of activity as much as you hear sounds, an occasional twig snapping, the occasional either grunting or hooting of some animal or bird, periodically within the compounds. Presumably the various animals that reside within this location. However, none approach you nor your companions during dusk.
All right.
At midnight, continuing further, a little high, but not enough. You sense a change in the watch, kind of keeping an eye out at the very edges of these verdant walls of small figures exchanging positions before heading back in for the night. As watch continues, however, there is the faint sound at the very other end of the compound, trying to somewhat stay quiet. However, there's only so quiet a large wooden door can be. As the gate briefly opens, and then after about 2 or 3 minutes, closing again.
Did I see who went through it?
From this angle, trying to look, there's a lot of buildings in the way, so you can't directly see the gate from here as much as you can hear it. However, you do very quickly note, presumably based on the sound, or based on the sound and also from what you can see, rather than someone leaving, it is the sound of someone entering. As you see a pair of bright, glowing blue eyes, almost like half limping, half crawling on all fours, a large, hulking, hairy form
Was this my heckin' doggo?
that initially is unrecognizable until you see in one of these soft glowing lights a very prominent canine head.
With my heckin' doggo!
Your heckin' doggo.
As the
Okay.
thorn-riddled and infested body of Burkhard the Broken seemingly is sifting through the camp at night, just
He doesn't look injured?
at least you don't see any recent wounds. There are no current bleeding wounds or any blood stains on the fur. Outside of a bit of a spattering around the teeth, and sort of like a bit staining around the jaw area. As and you watch as the form just moves slightly labored, but still with drive, as it seemingly is going around, kind of passing from house to house, just and kind of moving about the place. almost as if like searching for something.
I'm just watching.
And the form continues south along the roads, along the dirt pathways, past the windmill, before it kind of moves, almost about to pass across the bridge before the head quickly jerks and turns over in the direction of your compatriots' huts, as well as yourself.
Mm-hmm. I just hold up a hand and wave. I don't say anything.
Roll charisma.
I don't have good charisma.
2 9s tonight.
The form slowly begins moving closer, moving down on all fours now. Not aggressively, as if it is necessarily stalking you, though seemingly looking cautious. As over the course of about 5 minutes or so, the form actually will move up towards the hut. About you said where did you sit yourself in comparison to the hut itself? Like right in front of the doorway, or
Probably a little off from the entrance to where I can see it,
okay,
but also see the camp as well.
yeah. In that case, Burkhardt would come right up to you, looking down at you, and begin to just.
It's alright, I'm used to being sniffed.
Sif, sif.
Sniff, sniff.
Seems to be otherwise just kind of lets out a chuff and seemingly disinterested in you before the head kind of pokes into the hut. The eyes looking around. Dasher, you're still awake enough, I will say. Like as you're starting to try to fall back asleep, that's when you see the bright blue eyes and the woven head just peering in from the doorway.
Dasher will straighten up.
The eyes start darting around before the head does. And it looks at you for a moment, kind of pondering before. No, not you. Looks
But
over.
I see him going in the tent.
He hasn't gone fully in the tent yet, though his like head is poked in.
I just want to ready to. If he goes in, I go in with him.
Okay. He turns over to Dasher. Not you. Turns over to Kumal, currently resting nearby. Seems to shake its head no, not that. Before looking over at Lavender's body.
Aye. Of course.
Fucking course. Sniff, sniff, sniff.
He's gonna roll something.
Nox and Lavender are all about the sniffs. Don't fuck with us.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, so is this dog.
Mm-hmm.
Burkhardt is going to slowly crawl into the tent. Or not into the tent, it's not a tent, it's a hut. A lean-to.
I'm going in with him, very quietly. I'm going to ask, is there something you need?
The head looks back at you, standing in the doorway, and watch for a moment as like it's almost about to snarl before it kind of the lips kind of parse back into more of a resting position again, back into a cautious but calm state as the mind begins to turn. As whatever is left of Burkhardt's mind seems to be processing the question.
He's my friend. Is there something wrong? Sorry, what do you say?
Who?
Lavender. Though I am not sure that is her true name. That is the one we were given. Nature, can I ask a general question?
Absolutely.
Based on my knowledge of the were people in general.
The Raven Wolf, yes.
Yes. And his current affliction, because clearly he's gone without any kind of treatment, so on and so forth. And you've mentioned that, like, possibly his mind is a little bit gone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know if the effects of Lesser Restoration would in any way help him?
I have
In
an
this
additional
state,
question.
probably not much.
I have an additional question.
Okay.
Because of my research on human history,
Mm-hmm.
would I know if he's more gone than he should be at this stage, or less?
I'll say this would be a medicine check.
Would this be at advantage?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Because as much as you've
19.
researched this, this is not a specialty of yours. 19. Typically, when most Raven Wolf individuals end up going feral, it is almost like a full animalistic fight or flight, like a frenzy, you know, as if there is this constant hunger and this need to feast and, you know, kill and hunt and,
Right.
you know, gorge on whatever carcass, you know, they manage to
And
get their
this is
hands
not
on.
what I am seeing.
No. And you definitely get this look that, like, there's, you know, like, not everything's going all right in his head. Like, you definitely get the sensation that he's not all there, I should say. However, he is not as far gone as he would be right now. Because if he was far gone, he would try to kill everyone in this room. Like, otherwise. But he is, you know, still here and at least somewhat cognizant.
Dasher will take out a bowl from his cooking utensils, like a larger bowl, as well as his water skin.
Okay.
Some water.
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Roll a 9. Roll a 9.
13.
No, disadvantage would be an 8.
Oh, it's disadvantage.
Oh,
Sorry,
8.
that's an 8. Kind of looks down at the bowl a minute, looks up at you. Beforehand, just kind of tosses it to the side, and the water
didn't
just
Put
spills.
the bowl down.
Oh,
I haven't done anything yet other than take out my water skin, take out my bowl. Oh, that's about it. I have not actually.
okay, all right,
I
yeah.
said, do you need some water?
No. And he seems like the look on his face seems somewhat like angry at the insinuation.
Oh, jeez.
Should stay hydrated?
But you do seem a little bit.
I'm just gonna hold up to Dasher, like hold up a hand, like, shh, shh, he's here for something, shh.
He looks back over at Lavender before would Lavender have like a blanket over her or anything, or like in the bedroll when they
yeah.
sleep? Okay.
Yeah.
Burkhardt is going to surprisingly gingerly, with one claw, or with a pair of claws, try to pull back the blanket.
Would you like me to wake her for you?
She wreaks vengeance.
The tree.
He kind of huffs in response.
Interesting.
Why?
That is a question that I don't have an answer to, I don't think.
No outsider can see her.
I don't think Lavender's exactly an outsider.
He is from across the road.
Roll persuasion.
Me?
Either one of you. Either you or Nox.
I'll roll.
Yeah, I think your charisma's better than mine.
18.
I wouldn't have had guidance on it. I wouldn't
Okay,
have.
18. Oh, sorry, 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the 17 or the
Or
17?
would you like the 17?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah, I
has
kind of
another
want the
advantage over
17.
mine.
You do not lie.
Try not to.
She does not hurt.
At least not that she's told us.
Just kind of shorts, like, lets out another huff and begins walking his way out of the tent again.
May I ask you a question before you take your leave?
The head slowly turns.
May I help you some way? Lighten your load.
The eyes kind of narrow a bit, looking back at you. No. No one can help anymore. As he continues.
I might not be able to do much, but I can at least ease something.
He doesn't stay to listen to the rest of your speech.
Good night. And I go back to my post.
Okay.
Dasher will follow.
Alright. Dasher, if you want to take a perception check for the third shift of the night, if you're going sitting up next to Nox.
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
21.
21.
We got them sharp eyes right now.
Not quite duality of man, but close.
You watch as the form of Burkhard slowly begins creeping its way across the bridge and seemingly continuing this patrol in and amongst the folks. Dasher, you actually note that the head briefly kind of pokes into the hut of the drug dealer that you did as he just kind of before just poking his head out like and continuing along until eventually the form disappears amongst the foliage. And actually, you watch as as Burkhard kind of reaches around where the base of the tree would be, and you watch as the form just and begins climbing.
Nox,
Well,
you should be further gone than he is. At
I
that
know.
stage.
But he's managed to keep his mind throughout all of this. What's left of it, anyway. He's a brave soul.
I will note thing to mention with Nox and Dasher awake. His muzzle was still like somewhat like slightly fresh with blood.
Mhm.
So
Which is part of the reason why I asked if he needs water. Cleaned himself up a tiny bit.
Regardless, I wish I could climb like that.
With the musculature you have, it would kill you.
I know this, Dasher.
The musculature I have, it would barely. I would probably barely survive being able to do that.
I know, he's a fucking wolf. We should probably get everyone up shortly. It's been a long journey, and we need to find out if we need to go get this shard or not.
you hear a creaking noise as emerging from a tree about 50 feet away, I'll say, from where your guys' hut currently is. You watch as a fold, almost like a crevice or a crack, begins to scrape itself down the length of the bark of a tree before
Much like I've seen before, correct?
and then that bark kind of buckles outward before peeling open to reveal the form of the speaker
Just
walking
wave again.
through.
Wave.
You wave, and the head kind of briefly turns, looking towards your direction before giving a slow, solemn nod. Before he seems to be scanning the area briefly. Before he returns back, just kind of idly walks, softly down the path, almost just like taking a early morning stroll, before he once again makes another mark on the tree, as once again it opens, and he walks through, and once again it closes behind him.
I also wish I could do that.
And
We just wait for morning.
Dasher was about to say, I'm too lazy to maintain this form and do that. As Dasher just starts his stretching.
as it is still yet in the early hours before dawn rises, both of you are looking around the tree line of the village, the commune here. Before, out of the peripheral of the corner of your eye, you notice a small bit of movement from the large grafted tree on the west side of the compound, and like at least about 50 feet up, coming out from one of the branches, you actually watch again as the speaker the opening peers out as he just climbs out onto a branch, before just looking upward and begins just kind of idly climbing from upward from branch to branch.
That just seems lazy.
Um, Dasher's gonna do as the sun rises. Some cardio training.
Okay.
Nox is gonna tap Dasher and say, "Tag you it," and run around the tent.
Sorry, what was that?
Nox is gonna tap Dasher and say, "Tag you're it," and run around the tent.
Dasher would instantly catch you.
Come at me, bro.
You know what?
Alright.
How about we roll contending dex checks to see.
I have-
Oh, I'm gonna
40 feet
fail
of
so
movement.
hard. I'm ready.
I have 40 feet of movement. My movement is more than
What?
yours.
Takes out scroll. If
that
you can
is
do
a-
it, we can
that's-
too.
That's 10 more, so that would be a. I think for every 10, if we're going off of chasing rules, I believe for every
Plus
10.
10.
Oh, I believe it's +5.
Yeah, no, it's plus. Isn't it +5 per? Wait, no, it is +5 per 10 feet.
I think.
I just want to see if I can get away.
Yes, it is +5 per 10 feet.
All right, in that case, roll contending dex checks. Dasher could technically add a +5 to this
Yay! I'm gonna get my ass beat.
because monks. Oh wow!
I still got away for
Holy
the second
shit!
time in
That's
a row.
Alright.
fucking
The
amazing.
second time in a row.
With
I've tagged
+5,
Dasher
that's a
and gotten
16
away.
from Dasher and a 17 from
Except
Nox.
I technically can waste a point of key to beat you.
Should have
Nope.
said that. Should have said that before, my dude.
Nope, I've gotten away a second time. Nox has bested you.
As surprisingly enough, while Dasher is surprisingly good in the sprinting game in terms of actually catching distance, Nox is surprisingly good at deft like ducking and weaving and subterfuge to try to losing your trail back and forth as you're. Are you just staying around the tent or are you running around the village?
Sitting
Trying
around
to-
the tent because I don't
Okay.
want to. I mean, I'm still keeping watch.
That's fair. Yeah. Like after at certain moments, you kind of have to climb up onto the hut proper, which actually is structured enough to support your weight. As you quickly climb up before jumping down again, and just manage to do the longest game of keep away that you have done in a very long time. Somehow, against the odds, you have succeeded. Apparently, the gods are in your favor.
Today they are.
That was only one round.
Nope, that's covering.
That's just the whole thing.
Yeah, for the sake of simplicity, that's just covering for the whole shebang.
Done. Last time I threw a rock at you. This time I just tagged you.
Dasher will
Man, that head start really helped out.
Gal.
Hello.
As you slowly begin to awaken from your stupor, from your slumber, I should say.
My stuff on.
Hang on.
Oh fuck no.
Oh shit, actually, we're pretty high. You notice a few things. Hang on. Let me check something real
Shouldn't
quick.
have said anything.
Okay. So, as you slowly awaken from your slumber, the main thing that you notice straight off the bat is there's kind of this cold, wet sensation, kind of like on your shoulder, as if there's a wet spot. So you're like, what the fuck is going on? You look over, there's a goat currently chewing on your hair.
I'm going to activate my speak with animals and say, if you like being alive, you're going to stop.
Roll, roll intimidation. It's a goat, not a sheep.
Start slurping.
Gotta roll intimidation. That is a 13. The goat is going to intimidate you back.
I haven't had mutton in a while.
Rolled a 19. The goat looks over you. Also, to clarify, this is a very large goat. This looks like a soft, like shaggy brown kind of mountain goat. With these long, kind of curling, almost like ibex horns or like markhor horns. And it kind of looks over at you, briefly stops chewing, before it very quickly just begins chewing again.
I'm gonna push it away. Like stop that. Wait, no, I have frickin'. What does it say in response? Because I have speak with animals active.
Food.
No, that's not food. Fine, you want food? I'll pull out some from my pack. Yeah, actual food.
Okay.
What food do you offer it?
Imagine I have like some crackers. Some,
Okay.
Like, hard pack.
Persuasion or animal handling of your choice.
23.
It looks down at the crackers for a minute, looks down at the hair, looks back over at the crackers, before it just kind of, like just kind of lets go of the hair, and the hand moves over to begin crunching on the crackers.
Alright, I'm gonna like
It's like
now
sink
go away.
hair.
Go away.
Food.
I'm gonna take one of the hardtack and then chuck it. Go.
It. Where do you throw it?
Just a way that in a space that isn't where I am.
Okay. Yeah, you throw it just kind of like south of you towards where where the tents are. As he just looks like watches the eyes kind of travel watching it go past. This isn't over. And the ghost is just walking away towards the hardtack.
I have a question, Nature.
Yes.
When the goat spat out the hair, did it look like hair that was like clogged in a drain?
Yeah, it's like clogged and matted and chewed, of course. So the right side of Gal's flowing locks is a bit shorter than the left side.
Well, cut the left, even it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's it's about 2 inches shorter.
Oh, okay.
Didn't get
Not
too
too bad.
far. Not enough.
I needed a trimming anyways. Got to get rid of them split ends. And I'm gonna get up, I guess.
Yeah. As you get up and start gathering your belongings, you actually hear from kind of in your right ear towards nearby, just nature has its ways of righting these wrongs. As you watch as the speaker seems to walk out from amongst the foliage over to you. It is a mild wrong, but one nonetheless.
Wrong to me, or me wronging the goat?
I heard of your conflicts with one of the other heads of our circle. For that, I do apologize.
Well, it was consensual, more or less. Hopefully it just gets her to calm down a little bit.
And violence is a tool to be used sparingly, especially so when fueled by anger. I do not wish for this to be a precedent.
Well, sometimes people lead lives where violence is the only thing that they can turn to in a time of need. And it drones them to where violence is the only thing they have that they can use as a tool.
Roll a persuasion
I've
check.
met many people
Oh, sorry.
who have been... What?
Sorry, you keep going.
I've met many people who've been consumed by violence. I was at one point. But I have known people who are good enough to me to have steered me away from that path.
Roll a charisma check with advantage. Come on, soft 20. Then in many ways we are kin. I also had a fire that burned inside of me. Anger, spite. That fire has not died, though it has been tempered.
Well,
I only hope to teach her in the same way I have learned. However, she is struggling, and for that I understand, but I also apologize.
it's fine. Some of the most important tools are... One of the most important tools is time. But speaking of fire, if a white-haired half-elf comes through your territory, just send her my way.
Roll a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage because of the high roll from earlier. 18. If she is not killed by any of those Varforced before I meet her, I shall do as I can.
And thus the concern arises again.
Your compatriots are likely needing you. I shall leave you be. If you wish for a quick meal, there are remnants and the dining area.
Sure, I'm going to restock on what I gave to the goat.
It is good to know he is well fed, then. So there's like the very faintest glint of a smile. Before that very gentle
Blank
fades.
stare.
Afterward, he just walks off without a word and disappears amongst the foliage.
So that fucker isn't stone-faced. I'm gonna go fucking grab some fucking food.
Okay, yeah. It seems to be mostly, as is the ascetic lifestyle here, waste not, want not, and much of what is breakfast today is basically reheated leftovers from last night, along with a few bits and pieces of some fresh eggs and berries and a little bit of extra forageables. To kind of accent and add a little bit more substance.
And nothing else happened during the night?
I mean, if you want to roll a perception check to look over your person. Why'd I have to roll on that one now? Okay. As you are kind of like sifting, like as you have like your plate in one hand, kind of gently like shoveling mouthfuls of food, almost like a makeshift breakfast bowl, kind of taking like some of the leftover bits of soup, mixing with like egg to kind of like fatten up everything, into like a sort of porridge that you're having, which isn't terrible. As you're sifting through, all right, I got my weapons, got my armor, got everything. Wait a minute, I'm missing one of my sets of clothes.
What the fuck are my clothes?
Like your spare set of clothes are gone.
God damn it! I went through a hell of a time to steal those. Where the fuck are they? I'll look for my clothes.
Roll
Look for any tracks.
Okay. I'll say in this case, this will be a second perception check in order to investigate. Or
23.
to search the area. 23. Oh my god. So,
Nothing escapes my elven eyes.
as you try to like kind of retracing your steps, like, okay, you know, we'll go back to the site, you know, where I fell asleep. Maybe like, did the goat take it? You know, like eat it or something? No, it doesn't seem to be. Like, there's no like clothes on the ground. You're looking around before you're like, wait a minute. You check in the log where Tuple Tots is sleeping, and you see currently wrapped up in his arms like a security blanket, the ball of clothes that he is currently like holding.
He's a maniac.
Can I reach? Is he far enough in there to where I can reach my arm in?
It's a bit of a squeeze. Because like his like bottom end is facing you, and it's like a very cramped squeeze, so you kind of have to like reach in around him.
All right, time for Plan B. Pry the fucker open.
roll athletics. As the gnome is still currently sleeping in there.
Does that answer your question?
In less than 2 seconds, as there is the very faint sound of just from inside the log, you just kind of like pick it up. It's actually about like the same length as your greatsword in your hand, and you're just kind of sitting there like, you know what, actually. You kind of like assess it kind of like on the ground for a minute, holding it a bit like a golf club before you swing and it just shatters the entire thing, snapping it in half as there's just a spray of wood chippings and like dust everywhere as just a as the gnome very quickly like tumbles out from the log, and swiftly looking around before grabbing it and very quickly running to go sprint away with the clothes.
Nope, not gonna happen. Zephyr Strike. I'm gonna grapple him.
Okay. Make is this just unarmed? Make an unarmed attack.
Yeah. So this would be with advantage. So 12.
Okay. What is the AC of a fleeing gnome? That's the real question.
10 plus whatever the fuck his dex is.
He's actually pretty dexterous.
And even if I miss, I can still get in front of him because I get that extra 30 feet of movement.
That is fair. You actually just barely hit. As you manage to just grab him by the ankle, as he just no, not again, no.
Now you see, I don't take kindly to thieves.
I won't let this happen again like the last commune. As he just like he starts like leaning down to like start like gnawing at his leg, like he's like trying to not, like bite at his leg to let go.
Now time for the fun part. Since that was an attack roll,
I'll say,
strength save.
what was that?
Strength save.
Oh god. That is a strength doesn't do anything. That's a 6.
He is pinned to the ground.
You manage to wrestle down this frenzied gnome
With the shots.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And just as quickly as you have grabbed him, you just manage to kind of gonna pull it out from between his arms as you manage to get the set of clothes out. Slightly wet, as it seems like he also drooled on them. And he's like, "No, those are worth millions. It's a fortune." It's a priceless artifact. How dare you steal it from me?
But you see, this is mine.
Yeah, I stole it fair and
So-
square.
There are two options here. Either I let you free and you run, or I take you with me and I tell someone about what you did.
Ooh, roll intimidation check with advantage. In a very weirdly familiar turn of events, you watch as he kind of freezes there for about 5 seconds before just he just starts screaming, running off towards the very edge of the wall. Before you watch as he starts like climbing up it before just jumping over the other side.
And thus, my work here is done. Now time to go. I'm gonna
Meanwhile, with the
start
rest of the
walking
party,
back to the hut. Oh wait, no, I need to finish my food.
yeah, you take your bowl with you. I presume as meanwhile, the rest of the group.
Oh god, I bet that probably woke a few people up.
There are a few turning looks like, what the fuck is going on? Before they see the gnome screaming off in the distance, and there's just a kind of a look of recognition, like, oh. Before they just go back inside.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, now back to the rest of the party. So, what's everyone doing this morning?
Do I even hear the scream?
Nope.
Do
It's
any of us?
like at the other side of the compound. If anything, it might just be a very faint, like...
So, Lavender,
Yes.
you had a visitor last night.
Lavender, you do smell the scent of, like, wet dog, fresh blood, wet dog, old blood, but also, like, a weird mix of, like, pine?
Sip, 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 sip. Huh? What sort of visitor did I have? Such strange smells.
Large dog.
Oh. Okay.
Ravenwolf.
That's more accurate.
Sorry?
Oh, a raven wolf.
Said some interesting things.
Oh, like?
Like you smell of vengeance. What is that supposed to mean?
You mean the tree, in this
There it is.
commune?
That's exactly what my question was. I didn't get much of a straight answer out of them, though.
Sweats profusely. Yeah. Well,
you okay?
yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. The
Huh?
I guess we have a few things in common.
Garen walks out
Insight
due to
check.
Garen walks out due to the stress that Lavender's emitting. It's like
Yes, the
it's
stress
like
is
killing my
palpable.
body.
It's just like
Sorry.
I
Just
don't know if I should do an inside check because like I'm trying to avoid this.
that's fair.
I'm gonna let you guys handle that
Okay.
because I am opting not to insight because that nervous laugh is telling me.
Enough. It's enough for you.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
What I get out of that, nature?
Lavender seems very nervous.
But better question: when is Lavender not nervous?
Yeah, but like more so than usual.
yeah.
Lavender, what's got you so perturbed?
That's a very interesting observation. I guess it's true that I have quite a bit in common with Vengeance and although I don't think I'm specifically connected to a tree or anything like that.
What do you mean things in common?
But what about vengeance though?
I guess we have a similar scent.
You smell of vengeance? I say put my head to the tent. You smell like vengeance?
Yeah, you just poke your head out of the hut like, the fuck?
What the fuck does vengeance smell like?
Lavender, apparently.
Shut up,
Which
Mama.
I didn't smell vengeance. Sniff, 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 sniff.
Yeah, I no, I'm speaking specifically of Diagalthas.
Yeah.
And apparently yes, the tree spirit.
Spirit.
You know, like those kind of like those like those dryads that you saw on the other side of the river. Oh,
Putting two and two together, that's is that insight or just straight wisdom?
I was about to say.
I mean, that's even. Do you think it deserves a roll?
I don't think it deserves a roll. I don't think it deserves a roll.
I'll say
I-
it.
We just want
I'll
to
say it-
confirm. We want to confirm.
I'll also say for
So-
this, it's around this point. I would say that Gal arrives at the hut.
Yeah,
What
nature.
you're
I forgot
saying
something.
is- So what you're saying is you're a dryad? Dasher
Oh.
says aloud as Gal approaches.
Gal, what you doing, buddy?
Hey, is
The
Lavender
gnome
a
takes
puddle
that
right
in
now?
force damage.
Okay. Noted.
What about force damage?
The gnome.
Is
The
Lavender-
gnome
I
took
cast
8 force
Zephyr.
damage.
I cast up for strength.
God damn it.
I see.
Oh, also, Gal. I would also note as you walk across the bridge, you notice that there's a new structure near the river, of a very very close resemblance to a hut made of mud.
Yeah.
Going to ignore it.
Understandable.
Ignore it for now. We go back to it when we're done with it.
Lorp's tiny hut.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Gal. I'm
Apparently, Lavender smells of vengeance, but Nox didn't see it. We don't know.
Also,
Hold up.
apparently she's a dryad. I'm all kinds of confused right now.
Oh, I could have told you that.
You've
Oh,
known.
Of
no.
course you could have, Gal. Of course you could have.
Okay. Okay.
Let's keep it a secret. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you see, she bleeds amber.
Does she?
All right.
Yeah.
Or something that looks like it, at least.
I just feel like Lavender has turned into like this like small image of a gremlin and just starts vibrating confusedly after all this nervous anxiety.
Dasher, thinking that a
You could
dryad is a type
say-
of
Oh, sorry.
druid, says, so she's not human as well as a druid?
Not exactly.
Sorry, I just want to say one thing before continuing. So you're saying that Lavender is shaking like a leaf?
Yeah, definitely.
Continue.
Also, obligatory.
Yeah.
I got a 26. I'm reading you like a fucking book.
I'm sorry. I
Okay. Why are you hiding this? This does not change our opinion of you.
it's complicated.
I mean, I can think of a few reasons why.
Oh.
Yes, but that's because of my background and the way my mind works.
You guys mentioned that dryads aren't really a common thing and all, and
Oh. Oh.
yeah. Honestly, I'm not even sure how how much of a I am. Because I'm sort of bound, not as bound to a tree, or maybe I am. I don't know.
One moment.
Sounds like
Dasher goes into the hut.
Mm-hmm.
Using the deck that Kumal has, is going to take the deck out of his bag,
Hmm.
shuffle it into reshuffle it, so that it basically explains the situation, and tells him no researching Lavender. Puts
Okay.
it
Noted.
by his bed sack and leaves the tent.
So, looks like we're all having eventful mornings, I see.
Oh, what have you been up to?
Go
I'll
try
send
to
the
eat my
message to
hair.
Plains
Had
for
a
when he gets it.
conversation with the speaker, and I intimidated the shit out of a thieving gnome.
Fascinating.
Wait,
Wow.
leaving them.
Oh, hold up. Something's happening with my
Is that
dad.
the same gnome we saved?
Probably.
Hmm. So, do you want to report that to the guards or something?
We could, I suppose.
Yep.
Oh, if you want to get recreational stuff, I found a place.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Recreational stuff. What do you mean?
Crystalline Awakening, towards Nox. I found a drug den. Recreational drugs.
Hmm. Okay.
We might be able to use him as a contact later.
I don't see
If
how.
anything, to pass along things or look out for certain items.
I suppose.
Didn't know the network actually reached out here, but apparently it does
I'm
in
not
a limited
surprised.
format.
That tracks to a degree, I suppose.
So we're crashing here for the day, or are we leaving?
I don't see a reason to stay, however.
I still want to
We
ask
still
around
need
about
to
that
check on the
shard.
shard.
Yeah, right, that. Well, like we're gonna be able to find it. It's like an actual needle in a haystack.
This is true.
And so vengeance would help us.
That is another thing I actually wanted to see if Vengeance would be able to help, if the tree would be willing to help us out. If not, it's just Lavender.
What does getting revenge have to do with this?
No. Apparently, the tree's name means vengeance in Sylvan.
Why?
I have no fucking idea, but it has to do with them being a tree spirit.
She's suffered some loss, and I presume that's not a real name either. Just like my real name isn't Lavender.
Ooh.
Eh?
Eh?
Hey,
Oh well, join the club of false names.
nature.
Mm-hmm.
Dasher did at least find out that for several entities out there, names mean power. Names mean power. He did not find that for the Fae, correct?
Nothing has been confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you're aware of the concept that names do have a semblance of power with certain extraplanar
Cool,
beings.
cool.
Whether or not it's for Fae, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, so join the alias party.
There's a party?
I mean, tech. God, didn't you say you don't even know your real name?
I will not confirm nor deny.
That's a yes.
My name is whatever I need it to be, and that's all that matters.
You do hear, as this conversation is going on, there is a bit of a faint, like a bit of a tapping against the leaf, like, side of the hut. Before he just pops
his head out.
Housekeeping.
Dasher pokes his head out. What does he see?
You look out to see Serafina.
Ah,
Hello.
Dasher will open the tent all the way.
I hope your folks' sleep and experience here was as pleasant as it could be. I still dearly apologize for the behavior of one of my compatriots, as much as
You might need to apologize for another gal.
what?
Yeah, turns out one of the gnome one was a filthy thief.
It's Tuppletots, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. So his presence has been tolerated
Don't
here for quite a
I think
while.
he's going to be a problem.
Oh, is he gone?
Last time I saw, he was trying to climb his way out of here.
Oh my god, he finally left! Alright, I don't...
Gal,
I almost regret saving him. What?
Gal, please. Do you provoke him to leave or not?
Oh no, I just scared the piss out of him.
Alright, look, okay. As much as we accept any of those who take to our teachings into our folds, and he took surprisingly quickly even compared to other people, he was very... How do I put this? Uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Eccentric? He was
fitting the-
weird. He was very weird.
So he was fitting the stereotype of a gnome.
In many ways, yes, I suppose.
He
That's
tried to
unfortunate.
steal my clothes so he could sell them.
No.
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
You that's not surprising in the slightest. You know, the first day he came in here, he tried to steal he tried to steal the branch that is the speaker's arm. He didn't realize it was attached. It was a whole ordeal, and he was willing to face the punishment for said crime. However, he didn't seem fazed by it. It was so weird.
He said that he wasn't going to join another commune, so assuming that's not the first time.
I got the impression there was something going on there. Either way, my apologies. And honestly, I hope he'll probably be back. But
Civiltots is now an NPC at the colony.
Oh, if I ever see him again, it's not going to be a fun time for him. I can guarantee that.
I'll have to talk with the speaker, and if this becomes if this becomes a repeated offense, whether or not we'll have to excommunicate him. Until then, that is not a problem of yours. I presume you folks are headed out for the morning.
Yes, we are.
Splendid. Are you alright?
How the
Did you sleep well? Like, kind of looking over at Lavender.
Yes, I slept very, very well.
Deception.
All you hear is like leaves ruffling and everything.
Lavender is usually, from my experience with her, a nervous wreck.
In that case, I will allow. In this case, I would allow for either Lavender or Dasher to make a deception check.
Cool.
Am I close to Dasher?
6.
She gives a smell, but a smell. She gives a smile.
Actually, hold up. That's the wrong roll because I was telling the truth.
True. However, you are also trying. There's a line by omission. I still consider to be.
I wasn't even
deception.
attempting to lie by omission.
The deception check was effectively to try and help cover up the obvious nervousness that was coming from Lavender.
I specifically said Lavender is usually a nervous wreck.
I think even before we talked about the secret,
Lavender.
Well, here's the thing.
Dasher has noticed Lavender has been a nervous wreck this whole entire time. That's the wrong roll.
All right. What is your persuasion modifier?
It's lower, so it would actually be a 5.
Okay. just bearing that in mind. Just
I'm letting you know it's actually lower.
Okay.
Than it is.
Thank you. She does keep up the smile, though you can tell is definitely a little strained. Of like, okay, she could tell something's up, but she's not gonna say it. Right. Okay. Splendid. Okay. Is there anything else you need of us before you head back out?
No.
Once
It's
you
not 5,
folks.
it's 4. Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay. Point standing.
Point standing, but it's 4.
Yes. Sorry. I'm trying to. Anyway.
Sorry.
I wanted to ask you about the shards, Athena.
Yes. Unfortunately, I did take a quick ask around a few of the other members of our circle, and they don't know anything of its whereabouts. If there's any searchings or any
You don't know where the man
findings,
was buried?
Hmm?
You don't know where the man was buried?
I mean, no disrespect when I say this, though. I do not believe it is a secret that there is quite a large number of humanoid bodies that have been claimed by the forest. And I'm afraid we don't keep track of every single one here.
I see. Well,
Meanwhile, somewhere in the forest.
Shut up.
If that's going to be the case, then I suppose it's time to get busy.
I
Alright.
apologize. And if I do find any sort of whereabouts, speaker permitting, I will be sending it to you straight away.
Oh, I'm casting. I got one spell left.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. Sense the direction of the object's location.
So I would argue that this actually works.
I know the orb. I know what the shards look like.
But is it within 1,000 feet? That's the
That's
better
the
question.
The
That is
only
a fair
thing
point.
the only thing that's missing is she does not know the exact shape, but she knows in detail what the orb looks like, what it feels like, what its material is made out of.
But
Or what kind of
are you
material it's
familiar
made out
with
of.
this specific shard, which is a bit of a... you can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. Okay. So...
Describe or name. So shard of the topaz eye.
Okay, as you cast the spell, and you try to attempt to search for a shard of the topaz eye, you get a sensation pointing towards the box.
Of fucking course.
No, it's not close. Mark's just gonna shake her head, like, it's not within this area, at least. Do you know at least a direction in which they were, by chance?
There are a multitude of sites in which we have, sacrificed those who have wandered into our forest and allowed them to be reclaimed.
Where's the nearest one to the one that the battle took place?
I understand that this is very important to you. However, I would need to take
artifacts.
I would need to take time to search, and I would need to speak amongst our circle if we could even find it again. And if we do find it, again, speaker permitting, I would be more than willing and graciously giving it back to you. However, until then,
Sethana, do you know what you're looking for?
I believe based off of the description, it is almost a shard of an orange gemstone or crystal.
I'm gonna pull out the box.
Yeah, show her the half of orb we have.
And I'm gonna open the box and I'm gonna let her look at it because
Okay.
of my own knowledge from cleric to cleric.
She's going to
I
roll.
want her to be able to take a look at it. Therefore, if she continues looking, she'll at least know what she's looking for.
What's in the back?
And
This certainly isn't an artifact of Sylvanus or anyone under his pantheon, but I presumed as such.
I'm going to take a few minutes to just cast exposition and explain what exactly the eye is.
Come inside with me. She could have just gestures like back into the hut, let's
And I
talk
would
about
do
this.
so awakened mind. And I would do so a crystalline awakening so no one overhears.
Yeah, she walks inside to talk about this more a bit privately.
Well,
I
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. As much as I am not aware, as much as I'm a denizen and work amongst the circle that holds domain over this place, I'm afraid I don't know every single inch of this forest. And as much as I have walked the paths many times, I imagine, based on what you have done for us, and how the speaker has treated you and thinks of you, I would imagine that he would be capable and willing to pass over the shard onto you with little discourse, outside of maybe something small in return, if anything. But until then, it will take time, and we already have plenty of our members of our order patrolling the forest anyways, and attending the various ritual sites there within. If we find anything, and if there's any odd disturbances or any changes within our forest, any obvious signs of corruption or whatever powers is fueling this shard. I'll be sure to send it over to you with Godspeed.
We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Satana. And I'll just reach out a hand to shake hers.
Of course.
Would it be in best interest to set up a way of communication that doesn't require someone a day's travel for someone?
I mean, of course, there was always the messages by birds, which is slightly quicker, but nonetheless. Surprisingly,
I'm fairly
unfortunately,
decent with animals.
Yeah, unfortunately, there aren't many members of our group that are really capable of magical communication in the standard sense, outside of maybe animal messengers.
Turns towards Farron.
I mean,
Farron,
Mm-hmm.
when we get back, do you think your friend Agro would be able to deliver messages
Isn't he?
back and forth?
isn't
If
Agro
he's
here
well
with us?
enough.
No, Agro's back at the
Agro's
tavern.
okay.
Back at the Agro's back at the
The Adventure Center.
He's
Adventure
trying to
Center
rest.
because he's
He's
sick.
sick.
He's infected. He's the only one of us who truly failed.
Mm-hmm.
Their saves.
Well, we should no. Since Agro's not here, we should. I mean, I'm fairly decent with animals, so I'd be able to take care of one. I have enough space in my room.
Well,
Send in the Goliath.
no,
Yeah.
no, we are not. We're not doing
Um,
that. You will have like what?
I don't think we have the capabilities of handling another macro predator with what resources we have.
I
At least
mean,
not.
No.
No, it's just the messenger. Avi is a messenger bird. Just
think
carries a
about-
huge fucking scroll
can
and drops
send-
it on a house.
I can send
Look.
for another one of our various messenger birds.
Look, I just think Avi just spots like Tubbard House. I'm like, ooh, dinner.
That's true.
Will you
That's
say
true.
that's what canonically happens to him?
Actually.
By
what was that?
predator.
Can we say that Avi is what canonically happens to Tebertuts?
Nah, I think it's a little bit too far away.
Leave it to chance.
I mean, he's
Fate shall decide.
which direction is he heading in?
Either way, it's out of the picture right now. Moving on. Actually, I might be able to talk with the speaker about whether we could send one of our, of course, your company permitting, allowing to send for one of the representatives of our circle to the colony to act as a ambassador or a liaison in our stead. As much as I would graciously do this myself, there are plenty of responsibilities here and with others amongst our kin that I cannot do so.
I already figured you had enough on your plate already, which is why I was essentially asking for someone to be an ambassador.
I'll probably talk with one of our gardeners, one of those who are familiar with shepherding the flocks of birds of our group. Well, I'll get back to you. If probably won't take any more than a week's time to decide that representative.
Just so that you know, because it's a little confusing. At least I would think so. The Adventurers Center is on the plateau, not the fancy building further into town.
I understood.
Yes. But I hope I didn't rock her boat too hard last night.
She is resting now. She's resting her injuries. However, she has been in worse fights than this.
Okay.
She seems. When I did talk to her this morning, she was weirdly calmer. Maybe whatever did vented whatever frustrations she had, or she's still nursing a some form of concussion, and she is mildly loopy. But either way, she is alive and as well as she can be.
I was gonna rub the small spot on his head. Well, at least tell her she's got a fucking punch on her.
Of course. I'll be sure to send the message your way. Is there anything else you need of us before... I won't leave you folks any longer, and also, with all due respect, while you are guests here, there's only so many supplies to go around to keep you for so long.
We will be headed out shortly.
Splendid. Sylvanas and the wilds beyond guide you.
Saint Hypnosia guide you. Then I'll leave.
She nods, and the party's left to their devices. So,
Gal's
any
gonna have
final
a sudden
things?
realization. Like, as she's walking out, Gal's gonna have a sudden realization of the fact that, the speaker has a sense of humor, and just gonna be like, oh. Let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Hope what doesn't happen.
Well, earlier this morning I found out that the speaker apparently has a sense of humor. So, if my suspicion tracks, I can predict who our representative or ambassador is going to be if it's decided upon.
I mean, if that does happen, you can just beat them into submission again. Dasher gives
a
you the
win-win.
flattest face ever.
I don't feel like being that cool.
Dasher smirks.
So, any final preparations before the party begins to make their way outside outside of the compound and back in the direction of the colony?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
finally
wake
put
Kumal
on
up.
some clothes. I'm gonna finally put
I
a
check
shirt
up
on.
the floor.
Fair enough.
I wake Kumal up by splashing water in his face.
I assume Lavender not join me in going to Plorp then.
Planes, if you're saying things, you're currently muted.
Wet. I am wet. Why am I wet?
No, he's alive.
Oh, good. You're up.
Oh my, she
Late
really did a
morning.
number, didn't she?
Why am I wet?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
you just get like a
remember
dousing
that.
of water in the face.
You weren't getting up.
Oh man.
Fair.
You had a time last night.
I guess since you're up now, I don't have to have you check the cards. Dasher puts the cards back in their box and then puts them back in your bag.
I really hope that nice lady was satisfied after last night.
You're not allowed to do research on Lavender. She's a dryad.
Yeah, and?
She's a
I
dryad.
still
You're
don't know
not
what
allowed
that
to do
means,
research
but-
on her. Neither's Hayden.
Why?
Have you seen her? She's a fucking nervous wreck. The more eyes that are on her, the more she will shiver and shake like a leaf until that leaf crumbles in the wind.
Mazga just kind of puts a hand on Lavender's shoulder. Do not worry, your secret is safe with me.
You know
I forgot she was here!
Yes, right.
Yeah, she's just been quiet as all of this was happening.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Plains? Everyone was talking over you?
You know I asked and she said yes, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I will agree to your research.
I'm less convinced now.
Man, my joke is
No.
completely ruined.
No.
It's
Shall we move?
Yes, let's go.
Knowing your skull, the moment that you send anything in on Lavender, they will try to get you replaced. They will send someone else.
I could try.
Either way,
Eventually,
as...
we'll be overrun with the academy.
Mhm.
As Dasher picks up his bag, gets ready to go.
And as the party finally leaves the domain of the Circle of the New Dawn,
Black Lord.
leaving Plorp behind to discover more about the true sickness or identity behind the grafted amalgam of a tree that towers over this forest at its center. It is not long. Well, I should say, it does not feel long, as much as the trek now of familiars meandering and wandering back from the Circle of New Dawn territory back towards the colony. It still takes the better course of a day, going from morning almost towards later in the evening, as the party once again reaches the very edges of the colony. However, your trek along the way there is uninhibited.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were gonna. Oof.
I'll also say at this point, is the party wish to do anything any pit stops into the checking in at the colony or doing anything specific before heading back to the Adventure Center or stepping back in for the night?
I wanted to give a quick visit to Tiana.
Ah, yes.
Is it
If
time to pick up
she
our things?
is over here.
Nature?
You want to do you check in on the
Well, I was asking. I
supplies?
couldn't remember what his estimate was.
Some of
That
them
was yesterday.
Yeah, some of them said it would take a few days, some of them it would take by tomorrow.
boat was
Well,
a
then,
week.
if it'll take a
So-
few days.
Yeah, but then also a bunch of other orders were added on top of that then, and, so
Yeah,
we'll have
I won't
to...
check them.
Yep.
Dasher is going to check on that.
Yeah, and the boat was gonna take a week. Oh, right, Nature. At some point, we need to get the Circle of New Dawn encampment marked on. The bigger
Yes! The next time that the map is updated, I'll probably end up doing that, at some point later on, after... the most I'll say, the map will probably be updated sometime after the party might go into a Nathan's, we'll say. Okay, so... Hang on. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to run through. So... Sorry, I'm trying to run through all of the stuff that was being made. Trying to remember. Nox wanted to get 2 rings. Oh, no, sorry. Nox already got the rings. That's not a worry.
I already have them now? Because he said it would take time.
Yeah, because that was yesterday.
Oh, wait, sorry. That was Lavender who bought the spare ring.
Yeah.
The wedding ring.
Sure. Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll say at this point, yeah. It was Nox wanted the rings. Dasher wanted Farron wanted a bowl, singing bowl, and Dasher wanted, what was it again?
It was a rapier.
Rapier. Yeah, the rapier is definitely not done yet. Unfortunately,
It was a rush order, and you said it would be done the night that we left.
Oh wait, yeah, that's correct. Sorry. Sorry. All right, yeah, you did make it a rush order. That's correct.
Roll them bones.
Okay, in that case, let's see. Because yeah, the rapier would be done along with the rings. The singing bowl, however, is not done yet. Let me... You know what, let's grab the iron dice, because blacksmithing.
And now we gotta wait on the boat.
And now the
Have a
rapier is a
vote.
minus
We have a
one
vote.
cursed item.
Oh, okay.
Wait, was
Uh,
the bowl mentioned or no?
the bowl is not ready yet.
Okay. Was the
Uh,
holy wax ready? I mean.
Are you check in with Oh my God, what's her name?
Yeah, same here.
She hasn't really come up a whole lot, so
Baroness?
it's
Guinevere?
she was a baroness, I believe, but
Sorry about that.
It's all good. Guinevere? Or
yeah, Gwynier, yeah, Baroness Gwynier Passalor. You check in with her on the enchanted wax, like hold the quote holy wax. Well, actually, we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, we'll cover the blacksmithing stuff as I go to change the ambiance.
Okay.
There we go. All right. You know what? Actually, you know what? Because the party is dealing with their items and their shopping and whatnot and their preparations before the eventual expedition onto the frontier. Let's bring back an old classic. As Industrious Ferrets continues. So, looking at the first and foremost the rapier. Naz, I need to grab a few things. See, the party could talk amongst yourselves and discuss amongst yourselves for preparations. As
Alright, I
start
still
grabbing.
need to pick up my my short sword that I had sent to get fixed. If that's in.
Yeah, the short sword at this point would probably be fixed. It is just a new. I believe it would just be a neutral. No buffs, no debuffs.
Oh boy.
Just a standard short sword. That I believe would also be done at this point.
And I'm assuming we want to take a long rest and then head out tomorrow morning.
Yes, that would be necessary for me.
Did you not sleep last night?
No.
And you tell us to be careful.
Gal?
Yes.
Nox just stares at you.
He's gonna
and
stare
says
back.
Nothing and just shakes her head no. Staring contest, go! Con save.
Say, dun dun dun.
Oh! Oh, it's a stalemate!
It's
Oh
even.
God! Roll again.
Here
We have to get a tiebreaker. All right, 15.
Ah,
Hey! Gal unfortunately blinks first. All right, now. Ooh, okay, that's actually not too bad. However, this is a martial weapon because it is a rapier. Let's check the DC on that.
Alright.
Oh. Hold
randomly, I will request a headband too.
Hey, do you want headband made of iron or?
Yeah, made of iron, silver. It doesn't have to be too particularly valuable. Just has to look cute.
Cute.
Cute. Yes. Cute.
Is there a particular design you are wishing for?
Mm, no, it should be a simple one.
Okay.
Gal steps up. I got this. Draw out a design.
Okay. What design do you draw for Lavender's cute headband?
Floral.
The flowering might slightly increase the duration, or slightly increase the time to get those details down. Though this is hardly out of my capabilities. However, first off, if the rapier, unfortunately, it got below the DC. Ryle, if you could roll a straight d20 for me. Ryle?
I think he's like,
Okay. Well, we'll save the rapier then for afterward, once he gets back. Until then, let's check on the rings to see how well those turned out. Oh, okay. Actually, we're very high again.
What I get?
And these are a... This would be a wondrous item, because jewelry.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, alrighty. Ryle, if you could roll a d20 for me. I forgot to loot the Industrious Ferrets, oh no.
Also,
6.
I got 3 rings because I had bought one for Lavender as well, but then she bought one, so now I have 3.
Is in like
Unfortunately,
the two new rings and the wedding ring total.
No, I ordered 3 rings.
Oh, okay.
So there,
Gotcha.
and then I handed over 3, so there's 7 rings in total.
Like, Nox paid and ordered for 3 new rings because I had bought one for Lavender, but then she ended up buying the wedding band.
Wait, did Gal
Yes.
order a bunch of rings? Sorry.
No, it was just me.
Okay. I was about to say, I didn't think Gal ordered any rings. Because he was mentioning
No,
about more.
I gave up some of mine.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, for the 3 rings... We'll say because it is all one order, they have the same modifier. Oh yeah, actually, I have specific stuff for rings here. That is a DC. Oh, wow, okay.
Does anyone want to give an inspiration for a reroll on that d20?
For your...
That is for I will say that is for determining what flaw it has.
Oh, so inspiration's not going to do anything.
Yes.
right
With
back.
a 6. Oh my god. I tried to get it out as quick as I could. However, because of all of the other projects I was working on at the time, there were certain things I will be honest, I had to cut a few corners in order to make the deadline. But he sets it out. It is poor handiwork. If this item is a weapon, it has a -1 penalty to attack and damage rolls.
Should I
Like-
cancel the boat order?
If need be, I can take more
Okay.
time to...
I apologize. I did not hear any of that because I am getting phone calls up the wazoo for some stupid
dear.
reason.
Okay, so...
I need to go downstairs really quickly.
Okay, alright, we'll cover it again once you get back. However, Nox, with a total roll for the for the frickin' rings is a 25.
Nice.
Let me check.
Damn, Nox getting the good shit.
Nox, if you could roll 2 d20s for me for the 2 boons that these rings have.
Will do. Yes, sir. We got 8 and 8.
8, okay, alrighty. Let's see if those stack, because some of the boons actually do stack.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I'm ready.
Now, I do not wish to toot my own horn. However, I would like to say that this is a magnificent masterwork of my own personal making. As he opens it up and the reflective sheen shines in the sunlight, showing these gorgeous looking, very ornate, very intricate, these silver rings. As you rolled both 8s, it is a magnificent finish. This item's finish is on point and it's worth twice its normal value. Meaning, you rolled that twice, these rings are worth 4 times their original value.
Which, if I remember correctly, was
Shit.
50 each.
Yes. So each of these rings would be you'd be able to sell for about at least 200 gold.
Okay.
Nature, am I able to make a commission?
If you wish to order something else, I can add it to the list. However, I will still be prioritizing that singing bowl first, based off
I'm
of your
okay with
measurements.
What I am asking for is, you know what a snake coil bracelet is?
A bracelet in the shape of a snake, and of a coiling snake, I
well-
presume.
If you see in Striking Cold Iron, it's more like this.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
It's jewelry.
Yep, that's okay. That's about what I anticipated.
Yeah, just the size from wrist to forearm.
Oh, like a full, like... Okay.
Yeah,
Full
for
piece.
for basically they're braziers in a sense.
Bracer, yeah. For 2 bracers... that will run you about... what material do you wish to make these out of?
Silver.
Silver. I figured as much. I suppose I will have to talk to our foreman about ordering more silver in at this rate. Suppose in that case for 2 pieces. You know what? You are good returning customers. I will cut them to you for about 50 gold each.
All right. So I give him 100 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you. I can only hope that the flights above will grace me to make them just as much of a masterwork as those rings. Though, of course, I cannot promise anything.
There is a detail that he adds is that there's going to be a snake at the palm, almost something he can fold his wrist over, and
Noted.
the tail at you know when you need to check your blood pressure on your arm, or heartbeat.
It's like a freaking oh my god, what's it called? Like that sleeve or that band for like a heart for like a blood pressure kit.
In a sense, where you have to, but that's like more around the bicep, but it's more around like the elbow, like where the blood vessel would be under.
Back.
Yeah, basically, if you wanted to get it, like you want it to tighten, I guess. Okay, that can be arranged. And to clarify once again for Dasher before, unfortunately, with this being a rushed order, I'm afraid I had to cut a few corners in order to get this into in the time range, with all of the other projects that you had ordered me. And if you wish, I will be more than willing to take more time, take the time to fix this at half the cost for what needs be. As for, again, clarifying for the 6, 6 means it is poor handiwork, and because it is a weapon, it has a -1 penalty to attack and damage rolls.
What did I just say? -1 item. Okay.
Called it. But yeah, he just turns to you just like, I apologize.
Okay. I will pay you to get this fixed.
I promise I will take my time on this one then. I admittedly was trying to cover several projects at the same time, on top of some of the orders for nails in the past weeks for trying to get the 2 of these new buildings up. There's no excuses, I apologize.
No, I must apologize. I made this a rush order. So long as we can get this before we leave.
No, you pay for quality product, and I should promise such.
Oh no. No, I paid for a rush order. And I apologize for having you be overworked.
Yeah, let me check how much this would cost. Because you guys are good friends, and also he is ashamed of such a piece. He is willing to half the usual cost for basically repairing it.
It'd be a quarter.
Yeah, it'd be a quarter of the cost of the standard item.
So what's a quarter of 25?
We'll presume that's rounded.
In like 6?
Yeah, so we'll presume that's rounded down. So yes, 6 golds, and hopefully I should be able to iron out the dents by tomorrow morning.
I'll hand over 6 gold.
Again, my dearest apologies.
You are fine.
Alright. Is there anything else you need of me? Suppose I'm going to be doing another rush hour during the night.
Just to be clear, I did get those. Silver connectors earlier, right? For the
Silver
gauntlet.
connector. Oh yeah, the piece.
Did
Oh
you
yeah,
do
the
silver-
pieces for
silver pieces?
the yes, you did for the the headband.
No, it wasn't for the headband.
Oh,
It was for the gauntlet.
Oh, for gauntlet. Yes, that is correct. You have also gotten those as well for the sake of the materials.
Not at this time.
Okay. All right. Now, in that case, is there any other final
I
doings?
need to pay a visit to
I'm
the
probably. Someone go ahead.
Was
with
that?
me.
Oh yeah. Okay, we can go. If you want to quickly check in with Tiala. Oh yeah. Also, I guess we can cover the 2 birds with 1 stone, as both Farron and Gal are going to check out the oh my god, brain, the office building, or the colonial outpost.
Yeah, the outside orders.
Mm-hmm.
Could I just give the blacksmith another 100 gold for another set for his legs?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you'd
And-
be able to work on that.
How much for also some new shoes, as in new shoe?
Oh my god!
Leave the poor man alone.
You guys are gonna to run this guy out of the house and the home with all the shit you're buying. I mean, you're paying him well, but like he's burning through his fucking metal.
Yeah, no, he's getting burned
I can
out.
wait.
Stop.
He also needs
I can
sleep.
Yeah. All right, we'll say that's the rest of the orders for now. And as
All right.
both Gal and Farron go to the Capitol building, we're actually going to take a very quick break because I need to go use the bathroom. I will be right back. Sorry.
If you want shoes, go ask Gal.
Can he forge metal? Points at hooves.
Oh, those kind of shoes.
Yeah.
Wait, no. What kind of hooves do you got? You got like deer hooves, goat,
Not deer hooves.
horse.
Or more. They're more on the horse end, kinda.
Oh, you asshole.
Goatish. So,
Oh my
yeah,
god, he can walk on walk.
Shh. It's
He can walk on walls and he haunts bridges.
Alright. So to expedite this, who's available to work on magic items tonight?
Nox
Yeah,
will,
sure.
but I don't think she has any other spells that she can add to it right now.
So
No, I still have. Hold on.
Dasher is able to work 2 hours.
Yeah, I can spend the rest of my first level spell slots to work on items.
Do you need anything crafted in terms of leatherworking?
So here's what I got on the queue right now. We need at least 2 rings of water walking in order to safely cross.
Yes.
No, I can. I have proficiency with water vehicles. I can just take 2 trips.
Yes. We can certainly do that. It seems like yeah.
Does anyone need anything leather-wise, or should I just start working on the gauntlets?
I don't think I need anything otherwise.
I don't need anything.
Let's see here.
Hmm.
And this stuff is for the. In that case, we'll have anyone who wants to continue working on the rings just in case. And for other orders, those will be of a higher priority. So for me,
so
I need the ring will
How long
take
is it
only.
gonna take to enchant them?
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Each ring takes 10 hours to enchant.
Okay, so then we'll have to, if we want those, then we're gonna have to get a long rest, work through tomorrow, and then leave on.
We got 4
the
hours on
31st.
to the rings right so far.
That reminds me, nature.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind. I'll check the tables and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, but if that's 8 hours, either you're working through the night and you don't get a long rest, or we just work through tomorrow and then we leave on the 31st.
Mm-hmm. Or you bring Hayden with you, and well, actually, oh wait, no, sorry, you can't craft during the dream. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking a different thing.
I'm still annoyed about that, by the way.
Oh shit.
So yeah, we can wait until we can go the following day. If we're going with that plan, that'll be the safest and probably be the safest way. And that will also give people a chance to get their stuff that they need here, like the rapier and whatnot.
Okay. So,
Also, I don't know if Kumal, if Plains is still willing to enchant my weapon, but if he's not, that's fine.
Actually, if anything,
Okay,
Dash is gonna call the rest of the group together.
okay. So, sorry, what's the
He
plan?
has something he needs to say.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you go.
Dasher needs to call the rest of the group together because he has something he needs to say.
Alright, well, we still need to talk to Teola, because I did want to say...
Yes. Yeah, I'll keep this on as music as we, as Farron and Farron and Gal are making their way over to the colonial, the officer building, within the fort proper.
I'm not dead yet!
Yeah, it doesn't take long for the guards to recognize you and send you through the main gates first and foremost. At this point in the venture, it seems like now there's a lot more effort on like stockpiling resources, and you see like crates and carts of food and like food and supplies and ammunition, all being brought into the communal hall, that you also see individuals like starting to set up some beds, and like sleeping areas, like almost like as a makeshift barracks towards the one side, civilians going here, as preparations continue underway. and then moving on to the officer building proper, the manor, of which is cresting upon the hill. Once again, you are stopped at the door before one of them heads inside to reach one of the officers before you are greeted at the door by Tiala. With a very prominent, like, kind of like a very prominent smirk on her face as she looks out, like, oh, if it isn't Gal.
Hello.
I must say, I do greatly appreciate the little opportunity, the little mote of information that you had presented for me a few days ago at this point.
So I'm assuming it worked out for you then?
Oh, it worked splendidly, darling.
So delightful.
Mm-hmm. It was quite wonderful. Yes. I presume you're here for more than just gossip, of course.
Oh, I always love a good bit of gossip, but unfortunately, yes.
Well, I am simply all ears. Come inside, come inside. As she steps her way inside, you also notice at this point she's wearing heels, where she wasn't before. As she makes her way towards, like, the empty, like, meeting table.
All according to Keikaku.
Yeah, as she just kind of, she looks over, kind of pondering for a minute, like, before she sits in the big main chair where Aberos would normally be sitting, is just like, this is nice. All right. So, I presume you're here on business rather than pleasure.
Just here to pick up a couple of the things that I ordered.
Oh, right, yes.
Yesterday. I don't know about him, though.
Ferrum, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I do vaguely recall the Baroness was searching for you in order to return the... Was it wax you wanted enchanted?
Yes.
Right, yes. She ponders for a minute. I do have the wax on me, as well as she also presented a letter. I didn't read it myself, but though apparently it was addressed to you specifically as part of this arrangement.
Oh. Farron feels very cut off guard. I'm like, a letter? Why?
I have no idea.
Some secret admirer.
I doubt that.
I wouldn't go making any presumptions, of course.
No, I'm just thinking about how interesting that would be.
Did she hand over the letter, or did she just like?
Yeah, she slides it over alongside the container of enchanted wax.
All right. Best to read this later then. Is there anything else you?
I'm assuming that's all. Just get her stuff.
Yes.
Is there a library in this man? I'm not getting it to no. Yeah, your hit, but I'm just wondering.
There are books. There are bookshelves. There is a sort of a study area with a little with a little fireplace towards like the main kind of foyer of the building, along with presumably like bookshelves in like their different office spaces.
Right. Perfect.
Relieved.
Fred's done here. Thank you to Ala.
Of course.
Gal was gonna let Farron out first. He's gonna turn to TL. He's like, "Feel free to repay me however you wish. I don't do things for free." And he's gonna leave.
There is a long... You know what? Roll charisma.
The devilish grin returns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck?
There is a as you go to leave, that pleasant kind of joyous smirk is very quickly replaced with a growing scowl before a long drawn out sigh of like, I should have expected this.
You're gonna leave.
Farewell.
I hate to say goodbye.
But yes, you have gotten the items that you requested.
Now, time to put my chip on Hayden's shoulder.
Oh boy. Farron, do you open the letter or?
When this, if we're back at the like to the tavern, then probably for privacy. Because if it's like a letter distinctly for him, he's gonna respect the privacy.
Oh yeah, and plain
Alright.
if we're gonna enchant that sword tonight, Gal wants hope.
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool.
Make it snappy.
Yeah, it should only take like an hour. With how the crafting rules work.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So, I guess running down the list. So who is finishing their enchanting? Or at least who's wrapping up enchanting for the night, or who's trying to get enchanted stuff done before tomorrow?
I guess I am.
Noxus.
I
Okay.
still have something that Dasher needs to say to the rest of the party,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
which is basically with where I am currently at and all of the bullshit that I'm going through, I do not feel comfortable joining you on that expedition currently.
This is being addressed to the whole party.
This is being addressed to the whole party.
Yeah. Why is that?
Oh, let's see here. The fact that I have a Eldritch Horror Circus stuck in my head. There are various people trying to track me down. The fact that I am literally having a mental breakdown.
Dasha, as much as I respect this choice, I must say I don't think it's safe for you to remain here.
I think on the contrary, you being with us be more reassuring. Yeah?
Besides, what better place to hide than somewhere nowhere has been?
I feel at this point I am a threat to myself. I still feel I am a threat to myself and those around me. If anything, I would be holding you back.
I disagree.
Not compared to those I've met. I understand your reasoning. I've generally no stakes on your decision, but I'm going to leave my case on that, and I'm going to be taking my leave from the rest of this conversation. I'll be
You should
back in
walk
a
with me.
Dasher will follow.
Step, 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 step. You know?
Step, 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 step.
Oh Lord, they
you
stepping.
step on.
They're doing steppies.
Oh Lord, they stepping.
I can't outright convince you, but I can at least try to talk sense into you. Because you're right. You are a danger. You know who else is a danger? Kind of looks over at the group. Points at fucking Farron. He's a danger. Points at Gal. He's a danger. points at Nox. She can be pretty dangerous. And then goes to Lavender's, and we have no idea what the hell she is other than a title. Hell, I'm dangerous because with what I'm trying to do. The thing with dangerous people is best to stick together and keep the others in check. That's the best I can do to convince you. I can't make you. But if you think that you having an issue is going to stop this, no. Come on. You were in an assassin's guild, for crying out loud.
Yes, and I
This is really more
was
dangerous.
manipulated. I was tricked. Most of my assignments, I don't remember.
And realistically, is this
Because
going to be
now
any
I'm
more dangerous?
realizing it goes further back than the trip to the Empire.
Can't argue with that. Well, what are you thinking? Just gonna walk off,
I don't even know
discover
who
yourself?
I am. At this point, I need to stay with the Wind Watchers. I need time. This isn't... If anything, this is for me more than anything else.
Very well, I can't stop you. You have paper? What am I saying? I have plenty of paper. Start scrolling stuff down. Just, you already know we're here, but in case we move on, or dead, God knows what, there's my office, here's the contacts, you know everything that's going on. If you ever need to get back in touch, you know how to get to me.
Yeah, sure, we'll take it.
And if these people screw you over, you know I'm coming.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, sure, it gives a smile.
Can I just give him like a pat on the shoulders? Alright. Figure your things out. And you better come back.
Try.
I need a babysitter every now and then.
You babysit me more than I babysit you.
Ah, it's a partnership.
Dasher will go to his room, he will pack things up, and he will leave the party.
You're heading in the direction of the Worm Watchers?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you begin your trek over, the typically 5-minute walk almost feels like hours in many ways. With the weight of everything falling upon you. And despite your mind not leading you there, necessarily, your feet know where to walk. And eventually, you reach the precipice of the Worm Watchers camp, of which you see there's a fire going. Unlike the typical 2 silhouettes surrounding the fire that you are typically used to, you instead see 3. You see Neoleth and Thurnash to the left and right, surrounding this fire. However, at the very center, almost staring into it, mask covering the face. Before turning up to you, you see this individual. And seeing you walk forward, the figure stands up. You see that they are covered in robes, somewhat tattered, and while the robes are tattered, they do seem to be somewhat well maintained. As much as you can make off the scent of almost sage and smoke and this sort of like almost like a charred bone, the burning of something biological, almost emanating from his body. Well, at least of this masculine draconic form. And from what little isn't covered by mask and robes and the various ornamental pieces of what you presume to be looking at it almost either dragon bone or draconic bones running along the arms and underneath the robes. You also see amongst it the very faint glint, this flash of sapphire scales, as the form does not speak, but almost nods slowly and methodically in acknowledgement, as Neoleth turns over to you. This is... I had sent for the message back to the Worm Watchers, and this is our omen. He is our specialist in dealing with curses and other spiritual anomalies.
What may I address you by?
Give
Dasher still has all of his things
me
on his back.
a moment as I try to find the name. Give me a moment. Sorry, you guys can speak amongst yourselves.
Speak, speak,
Called
speak,
it.
speak, speak,
Speak.
speak, speak, speak,
Hmm.
speak.
Called it,
Speak.
Rylan. Called it.
All right. So, let's see here.
Now I'm trying to get his full name, which, of course, as you know, with Dragonborn is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still frustrated it took this long.
I am aware. And I do apologize on that end, but...
Okay. We'll see that. Is the sword. Let's see here. Farron, are you working on anything?
Kinda.
Kinda?
I kind of need more material, but there's also I was hoping to make a ring that could possibly do ceremony or lay of rites. I'm
Mhm.
trying to think of things that could be potentially helpful for the group and the materials. That's why I'm super heavy on buying right now.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you had any like existing or working on any magic items at this time.
Do you need help?
Yeah. I tried this. Go on,
yeah,
nature.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got the name, sorry. I hate to cut you guys off, but... Sorry. This is our omen, as the form kind of speaks up, and this very raspy, breathy voice, almost as if the air is always trying to escape the lungs of this figure. Teftian Kolian of Clan Cathendular Hinulwa. Oh, sorry, Hilunwa. And I will, as a full name. That would roughly translate to Sapphire Omen, or Sapphire Fate, or Sapphire Prophecy, effectively. I have heard you have a blockage in your soul.
Not only that, much of my memory is either missing or not correct.
Come here, child.
I sure will do so.
Yeah, and he kind of rolls out this this tarp, effectively, where you can also see various other almost like small bone and metal instruments of various different kinds, like medical instruments or like knives and wands and other like talismans and other things, as he addresses for you to lay out on the table, like on the tarp. I will not cause you to bleed unless I need to, in order to examine what is wrong.
You have my full consent to do what you must.
I cannot promise that this will fix you, but I can see what exactly is cursing your body. And you lay down.
Yeah.
And as he begins to mutter
He'll
to
actually, before he does lay down, he will put down his backpack and he will take his gi top off.
Okay. Yeah. And he begins to, after like kind of rubbing down your body with like oils and other substances, and then taking a bit of a sage and burning that over your body, he will begin to perform a diagnosis. He, the eyes behind this mask that you only actually realize now looks almost like combination of like carved like in like bone and metal with what looks like draped like shed dragon skin over the top of it in some form of very clearly a shamanistic almost practice. The eyes kind of glaze over you. These clearly not hostile, but still very haunting and very powerful orange eyes behind the mask. As he, it assesses your body, kind of like addressing the different marks, the different portions where you would find the direct, closest avenue to reaching the different motes and centers of energy on the body, before flipping you over onto your back and doing a very similar thing. Do you feel pressure when I do this? And after a bit of a faint wave of his hand, you almost feel this, like, this like numb kind of tingling sensation, sort of like where your skull meets your spine, where at the like basically at the very top of your neck, going down.
Not so much pressure as it feels like a numbness. Like circulation has been cut off lately or something. For a tiny bit.
As I'd expected.
Laying on it awkward.
The letters were true in saying you are cursed, but your mind is almost a parasite, a curse latched onto this mote, the source of your energy. And such a thing, this curse runs deep and has changed much in your body. It has taken advantage of things you could not control. I can help with this. I can aid you. However, there will be powerful magic that needs to be done. Are you familiar with rites and arcanum and the magics within?
A little.
While I can guide you through the process and I may teach you, it shall be you, once you cross over the thresholds, you shall have to do this transformation yourself. I have done it. Well, I have studied it and practiced it once, not many. It is something I avoid, the changing of the self, but I think this is necessary. There is a place. Kind of like thinks for a moment, and then looking over you. You have been to the dream.
Whatever was. I have a suspicion whatever has cursed me has dragged me there plenty of times and had me within its tendrils to where I could not see outside its tent. Recently, I was able to get out of said tent, dragged me back in.
I see why this circus wishes to keep you. Your soul is powerful, and they have put a collar on it at the source. So, as I presume, they wish to control you in this way. Make you what you wish them to be. What they wish to be true. What that is, I do not know. Though it is a fate I would not wish upon you or anyone. You have been to the dream, and you have been to the sands at the edge.
Yes. I have.
There is a place within. Strands like silver. Do you know of this?
I have been told I'm to make it to a strand that is supposed to be essentially a representative of it within the dream of myself.
Because it is. The strands of silver within the Stralm are your tether between your body and the realms beyond. It is your soul, your memory, your self. Its blood is the same magic that you and those of your skills use to power their fists. And it is in this place that a great transformation can be done. And I can teach you this, though take heed and be careful. This curse, removing it, I can also do. However, it is a dangerous one. If you wish to change your body, to improve yourself, to fight better against it, we may be able to hide your form from the circus for a time in order to reach the sands, and then from there you are on your own. Or, if you wish to face them head on and fight them before this transformation, I can also do this. However, I will need more preparation and the aid of those who you trust. I may also teach you another rite, should those that you know not be sufficient. Or, if you do it this way, were you given any items? Any magics from these people?
Above these people, do you mean my
The
friends
circus. This
Yes.
troupe.
Yes, there was a mask.
Do you have
I
it?
also believe. It is on a. It is on a dream cleric currently that is has currently helped me so far.
That may be very useful, as the changing of the message, the changing of what is behind this, the unmaking and the subsequent transformation may do powerful things to help you.
I believe the people that are with the circus also gave me the shattered eye of Drillsick.
I am aware of this, and I have been searching to see if I or any of my others know more of the shards. And we have yet to find any. Whoever wishes to hide them has been hiding them well. Or they are in places that we cannot look. He kind of looks to the west of him.
They are trying to hide them by, I believe, stabbing them into themselves and killing themselves. They do so. They are hiding them in death.
That may be true for some, though I do not believe that is many of them. Most, and from what the spirits and the bones read, I believe that they are across the river. In places that neither they nor we know where to look. Someone hid them, or the spirits did something in that last hour to prevent them from having it whole. That is merely a thought and my belief, and I do not know for certain. But that is for the future. We cannot fix that now, but we can prepare. And if you wish to study, I may teach you the ways to change yourself and to change the things around you to get to a life back again.
I trust my friends, but at the same time, I do not feel that at this time I can trust myself.
I understand that. And while, after a certain point in this venture, you will be alone, and by then there's only so much help I can give you. However, those who know the dream and those who trust you can help you to reach there. Whether we must hide you or must aid you, it is your choice. However, should you wish for I should not point you in one way or another. It is your choice. It is your will that makes this. So, to kind of cover everything above game, as for what the hell he's talking about, he is willing and capable to teach you the Arcanum in order to effectively transform yourself, in order to remove the blockages within your system, and even if it doesn't directly remove the curse, in many ways it can help to weaken the connection even further. However, he presents two options looking at this. There is either A, performing a rite or performing methods in order to shroud your form in the dream, and as such prevent you from being spotted, or from being seen and subsequently being grabbed, by the circus before, in the middle of this Arcanum and this rite. Or we can attempt to fight the source directly and sever the connection before the transformation, which in many ways is riskier, but if you wish to take a fight to the source directly, that is also an option. And as for the methodology of doing so, he is willing to teach you the Arcanum, as well as also possibly another rite, which would provide other options to perform this Arcanum. And the rite that he mentions would possibly include the usage of that mask. In some form.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions?
Which one would piss off the yellow sign more?
Well, I mean, that's not something I can really
'Cause
strictly
that's the
answer.
one that Dasher takes.
Well, do you wish to outsmart them with your cunning? Or do you wish to fight them full on with full force?
I'd rather outsmart them.
Then we shall provide you a shadow and dream, and give you the powers to weaken this collar at your neck. Follow me. And so, as a final 2 dice rolls for the night, I would like for you to roll for me. This would be 2. Actually, from what source would you say that Dasher derives most of his drive, most of his power?
Most of his power?
Yes, most of his drive, his passion, his power, his will. Like what causes him to move forward? Or what do you think drives his life the most in that way?
What drives his life the most? His brother and his nephew.
Okay. And I suppose I would say through your understanding of your connections to those around you and those beyond, these will be 2 wisdom checks.
Sorry. Let me
Okay.
clarify. There is a third thing.
Okay.
His brother, his nephew, his faith.
Okay. In that case, then I would point to all these again, once again, turning to wisdom for these 2 checks. All right, 20 and a 7. Does anyone wish to use a point of inspiration to re-roll the second one?
I will.
Okay, then re-roll. While the second rite is difficult for you to process and is difficult for you to wrap your head around, some form of rite of unmaking, a rite of intentional destruction without falling to such emotions. And considering the amount of pain and anger and emotion behind such things, maintaining control in such a state is difficult for you right now. However, firstly, the original lesson in a desire for change, the change of the self, whether spiritual or physical, he has taught you the arcanum known as Passions Ecdysis. And I will show that now. Hang on. I will read it off, but also showing the image at least for the stream. A wound can be made a door, and a door may be made with my spirit. Blood and soul shall be one, and so my soul shall be threshed, so my body will strengthen. Requirements. Every choice closes a door so that another may be opened. Wisdom or charisma must be sacrificed as part of this ritual. No matter the rite, the blood of stars and the world's soul must be given willingly. Other sources may also suffice. A spell slot of 3rd level or higher must be expended during the ritual. Other abilities or ingredients of equal value may also suffice, though it is unknown how they will react to this ritual. Only in the sands at the edge of the mind may the silver threads be found. Climb the branches and wrap yourself in them so your metamorphosis begins. This must be done at a specific location within the Giamentus. As for the rewards, this is my body now. There are other bodies, but this one is mine until the heart ceases. This may aid it to drum slightly longer. Your strength, dexterity, or... actually, that should be constitution. Sorry, not charisma. Increased by the amount of the stat sacrificed. You also gain a number of years to your lifespan equal to 5 times the net bonus to the modifier of the stat gains. Time may heal all wounds, though a wounding of the soul may take longer. You gain a point of exhaustion, and you have disadvantage on concentration checks and wisdom saving throws until this point of exhaustion is removed. Now, I understand there's also questions. Because of what the Omen here is trying to facilitate for you, and depending on the circumstances of the rite used as part of this, additional effects may also occur as part of this transformation. To clarify, this is how the baseline Arcanum works. However, that does not mean that this is the only things that may occur. Any more questions?
Above game, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted.
Was it? Hold on.
Yeah. Because what I wanted is I wanted more wisdom.
I thought you were switching con and wisdom.
Yeah, he's turning his con into wisdom.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Hang on. I actually wrote down the wrong thing. Sorry. It is. I switched the two things. Sorry, I actually feel really embarrassed. I actually grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah,
I'm extremely frustrated.
Sorry. I am so sorry. There are two that are basically opposites of each other. Sorry. I will. Okay. I promise I will get you the right one by next session. This is the exact opposite of the one I went to grab. Yeah, I will. I am so sorry. Never said I was a professional.
It happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to apologize.
Okay. The other one should be called. I can at least grab the name offhand. To at least clarify what that is. It would be known as Flagellant's Foster. Blood and soul shall be one, and so my body shall weaken, so my soul will grow. Sorry, yes, the two are basically like opposites of one another.
No, I have described Dasher as having too much bulk.
Yeah, so yes,
I
apologize, and I understand.
The curse is giving him more constitution than he should have.
Yes, I understand, and I understand, and I realize my mistake, and that shall be fixed again by next week to get the proper one. Yeah, I apologize because I got the wrong one. However, of course, unfortunately, we have to be calling the session here because we're already over time.
Can we at least try and get some of the lesser enchantments out the way so we're not bogging down next session with it?
We can cover that during the interim sometime before next session. I'll allow that.
How about this? I'll set up a spreadsheet and I'll kind of list down what everyone's working on, and I'll even put it on the DCs and everything too for you. I'll send it to you.
That would be very helpful. Yes. I am so sorry about that. I fully realize that was my mistake. I grabbed the wrong one. Okay.
Like I said, shit happens.
Yeah. Just grabbing from a list of a bunch of them. So, either way, we shall see the possible preparations and results of this attempted magic. This powerful form of magic. Next time on Legends of Nordareth, Striking Cold Iron. Oh god, I have to chill. Fart. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All DMing current homebrew 5e D&D games concurrently within my own homebrew setting of Nordareth. I also stream on the weekends, should I be capable and willing, to do variety gaming streams where I play whatever the hell I want. And hopefully this week, fingers crossed, we'll actually be diving back into, for October, getting back into Persona 4 Golden, which we kind of left for a while, but we're looking to come back to. And it seems very interesting. Last I recall, I believe we just finished off the tutorial. Like, we had just finished the tutorial, and we're about to get into, like, the first, like, proper dungeon, quote-unquote. At least that's as far as I recognize it, but either way, we'll cover the details of that then. Otherwise, there is also a Discord, of which there is a link to the back section of the Twitch channel below. There's also a YouTube channel, youtube.com/natureclaws, of which the VODs and the highlights go up periodically. I forgot to send an announcement today, however, episodes 19 and 20 for Striking Cold Iron should be up today at this point, for those who want to look back on those. I think that's everything. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day or evening or whatever time zone they're currently in. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week, and hopefully we'll be able to see you guys next time. Let's see who we're going to raid.
Raid Zoran.
Don't forget to houses and himbos. Don't forget
Indeed,
that.
absolutely. Do not forget to both
Houses and
houses
himbos,
and
y'all.
himbos.
We should raid Zoran the Bear,
Oh?
the bear VTuber who plays D&D.
Indeed. I am quite familiar with the Zoran the Bear. Is there anything special going on with Zoran right now, or...?
Yeah, we should just raid them.
I mean, we can. Let me see who else is online first before I consider. Yeah, we can go and raid Zoran the Bear. Sure, why not? Oh my god, brain.
Brain.
Where the hell is the raid? There's the raid button. There we go, Zoran the Bear. Looks like he's currently playing Foxhole, which is that name sounds familiar. I believe it is a World War II strategy game. Is it World War II or
one-based RTS open world? It's fun as hell. I love it.
Interesting, because I was like, that sounds vaguely familiar. Where have I heard that before? Okay, that was it. What's our raid message gonna be?
Shaking
Down
like
the
a
rabbit
leaf.
hole.
What was that?
Down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole?
Like shaking like a leaf. Shaking
Oh yeah,
like a
shaking
leaf
like a
is good.
leaf.
Shaking like a leaf.
Shooketh like a leaf.
Shooketh.
Shaking like a leaf.
Shooketh like a leaf.
Shooketh is a great word. I just like the word shooketh.
Yeah.
Thank you,
alright.
Chad.
But yeah. What else do we cover before heading off? Please go show the content creators that you enjoy the love and support that they deserve. Because even at least whatever you are capable and willing of doing so.
Unless it's me, in which case don't.
I mean, we can. I don't know. I don't know if chat needs to listen to that order specifically.
Nah, listen to me. Don't support me.
Hey, you said it, not me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. See you guys later. Go shows are in Bear Love. See you guys. Bye.